Welcome to the Smark Foundation podcast. I'm Aaron. This is Adam,
Oh, hi, Marks.
and we are here to cover the best in AEW from the past week. Um, let's see, how do we start this one off this week? Was there any
Jeez.
big news this week?
I mean, most of the other news came from the other place.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I mean, the other kind of tidbit that we would talk about, we're actually gonna kind of touch on in a Call in the Ring segment. So I kind of don't want to touch on it here, because I want to be able to set up that segment. So, um, I mean, I guess if you want to talk about, all right, you want to talk about the pay-per-view thing on HBO Max.
Okay.
Like,
Okay. I'm cool with the pay-per-view thing on HBO Max. Totally already pre-ordered it on HBO Max.
okay,
The reason I say that is because before that, I was paying $20 a month for HBO Max to watch AEW and $50 to YouTube for
yeah,
AEW pay-per-views. Now I am paying about $60 a month, all said and done, to Max, which is a net benefit of $10 to me.
yeah,
So I'm not really upset with it. As long as it works, I'll be gravy. If it turns out
yeah.
like the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight did on Netflix, I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah, I mean,
So
to be fair, I think Netflix has probably ironed those things out by now. I mean, they had remember that was kind of that fight that you mentioned was the kind of the trial run to see how it was going to work
yeah, well now they
with
have like two more
Raw
coming
on
up.
Netflix,
So
and that doesn't seem to have any issues anymore,
yeah, we'll
right?
see
And
how it
it's certain
goes.
to streaming.
I'm watching the next Jake Paul fight because he's fighting Deontay Wilder and he's a real boxer, and Deontay Wilder might actually knock Jake Paul out. So
Oh
that's what
man, I
I'm looking
hope.
for. Then they're having another one. I guess Mike Tyson is going to come out and do another exhibition fight in his old age against also retired Floyd Mayweather. And I will say this: if Mike Tyson hits Floyd
How?
Mayweather one time in the face, that is the end of Floyd Mayweather. He is a little
Isn't
bitty.
that isn't that like how are they gonna
I
what
feel like this is
catch weight are
elder
they
abuse.
fighting at?
I don't know. It's got to. I don't even know that Floyd Mayweather could get big enough to fight at catch weight.
Yeah. Like
You know,
if
like
you if you were to get him big enough to fight him in time, it would be because of in performance enhancers and if or just overeating, which is dumb
yeah. And even
as
if
well
Mike
for
Tyson
different
is
reasons.
lazy, he's still going to come in, 40, 50
He's gonna
pounds
come in
heavier than
fat.
this
He's
dude.
not gonna come
Yeah.
in skinny. Like
Yeah. So like I don't know. I don't know.
how is that gonna work?
At a certain point, I feel like making old boxers like Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather like go out and fight is elder abuse of some kind.
Yeah, oof. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't follow boxing, like pretty much at all. I mean, I've seen a couple of fights here and there. I can appreciate it for what it is. It's not really my bag. I would, however, really would, however, like to see Mayweather actually knocked out. Because, like, what I do know about him is that he just dances around and just kind of avoids you and gets by on points, right? For the most part, because he's like
Yeah.
really, really, really quick and really evasive. Um, from what I understand anyway. So like you said, if Tyson could land a good hit on him, it would be interesting. I mean, even in their old age and even, not near at their peak and even at a catch weight, it would be very interesting for me and kind of gratifying because I don't like, okay, I don't really like either one of them. Like I like Tyson more, I guess. Like I must I must put out there though that his rehabilitation comes at a cost, and that's at us forgetting that he was convicted of rape. Like,
True.
and he went away for what 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
That's why it was so controversial when WWF brought him in 1998. Is because like this guy just got out of jail for raping his girlfriend. Like it was icky then, and it's ickier now. And to be fair, there hasn't been any recurrence of that. Okay, you're still a rapist. Like I still don't trust you. I still don't really like you. Um, but the fact that he hasn't had any incidences reported in the following 30 years or so is like it's at least okay. Maybe he's not going to slide into recidivism. Maybe he's learned his lesson and maybe or whatever.
Yeah.
That said, nobody has been able to humble Floyd Mayweather for any of his stupid crap over the years, ever, 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 ever. And
Yeah.
it to me, like at least Tyson did go to jail. He was convicted. He went to jail and served time. Was it enough time? Probably not. But he did something. Whereas Floyd Mayweather, he maybe not have committed any crimes other than being a cocky SOB. But like he spent 2 decades being a cocky SOB without anybody being able to shut him up, and that bugs me too. So like
Yeah.
I would love to see him get knocked out simply to just shut him up,
Yeah. Finally. Like after all this
right?
time, like we finally shut him up.
You broke the Big Show's nose, shoot
Yeah.
style.
Just to be a dick too. Like as far as I can tell, like for no other reason than to be a dick.
I
And
think
his
Show
team wanted to
probably
be like,
told.
y'all can't put your hands on him. And I'm like, I would 100% put my hands on all of y'all. Like,
Yeah,
like it wouldn't have just been him. Like,
it wouldn't have even it wouldn't even surprise me if Show told them to really hit him to sell it
yeah, I don't think he
because
understood what he was
otherwise I don't
asking
think it.
for though. There,
Well, here's the thing, like as with the audience that it was, they probably knew the name Floyd Mayweather, but then you see him stack up against the Big Show, and you're like, well, there's no way this guy is beating Big Show
no,
at all. But you see him break the dude's nose for real with those fast hands of his, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, maybe he does have a chance. So maybe Show I don't know, maybe it was Vince, I don't know. Maybe somebody told him, hey, look, you got to make this look real. You got to bust him open. Otherwise, it's not going to sell and people aren't going to buy it.
yeah, I don't
I
know.
mean,
I really
it's
hope that's the
carny.
case, but
It's carny as hell.
the
But
carny nature of this
honestly,
business says to me they didn't prepare that much. Because everybody's like, oh, those guys are millionaires. They make a bunch of money. They're up in their like Golden Tower, fucking planning wrestling matches. No, no, these
no,
are these are still
no,
backwoods redneck ass fucking carnies. Okay, like quit
yeah,
pretending otherwise. All right, this is what the wrestling business is full of. These people. Guess who gets fucking drawn into the wrestling business in droves more than anybody else? Carny ass redneck motherfuckers. Why? Because it's a carny ass redneck motherfucking business. Nobody can
at its
tell me
heart,
any
yep,
difference. That's true.
yep.
You
Which
got
I
to deal
guess
with it.
makes me a little bit carny redneck motherfucker.
Yeah, a little bit.
I guess maybe,
But no, I mean, like the people who participate in it, like the most.
yeah, oh
Like
for sure.
the people are like, oh, I see this misconception on Blue Sky all the fucking time, where the people are like, oh no no, my favorite wrestler couldn't possibly be a carny redneck motherfucking like Trump loving fascist or anything. No, for sure, there's a 90% chance that your favorite wrestler fucking is a GOPer.
I would say there's less of a chance in that in AEW, probably, but it's
I
still
don't know.
probably. I don't think it's as prevalent as the fans think it
Yeah,
is.
I don't think it's the ratio y'all think it is. With all
Nope.
my experience in wrestling in the backstage of wrestling environments, like
Yeah.
I don't think it's anywhere close to the split that people think.
Like we know Brody King's progressive.
Yeah, like yeah,
I'm
but
I'm
it's
not
not
so
like like there's a
I'm
few
not so sure
obvious
about
ones.
I'm not so sure about Don Callis.
Yeah, there's a few
Like,
obvious ones, but there's others that are like you don't know,
you
and
know,
their character will never portray that.
no,
But like, I mean, some of these people choose to live in North Carolina and
yeah,
Texas and
Florida.
Florida. Yeah,
Although
like
to be fair to Florida, which I can't believe I'm saying this, but to be fair to Florida, a lot of wrestlers stay there because of the tax scheme. There's no state income tax in
well, that's how it
Florida,
is in Texas too. But I mean, it's just
and
baggage that comes along with those states, man.
yeah,
Like you have to know where you're living. Yeah, there's plenty of
yeah,
places that don't have a state income tax, that aren't
yeah. But they
fucking
also, I mean, a lot of
hellhole.
them. I mean, you also have to think too, though, that with the both basically headquarters of the two big promotions being in Florida, Jacksonville and Orlando, like
I mean, yeah, that's a
it
place
would
for wrestlers to go.
for wrestlers. Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. Like, a lot of
but
them
yeah,
probably
but
gravitate
still,
towards
like
Florida.
even
Property
even
taxes are
even
pretty.
with that, like people being like, "Oh, well, they moved to Florida for the wrestling." Like, yeah, okay, of course they do, but that doesn't mean they don't probably enjoy the state and all of its wonderful weird ass laws. That are
Yeah,
like completely contra. Like, I mean, I'm sorry, like I hate to break that to people, I really do, but
yeah,
that's just the reality of the situation. Is that discussed on TV more times often than not? No. And thank God it isn't. Not at least not by AEW. And that's the thing that AEW is doing right. The WWE isn't doing right. The
yeah.
WWE is cuddling up to specific politicians and doing weird shit. And fucking Linda McMahon's like fucking fucking up the Department of Education. Like they're involving themselves
Yeah,
where it
actively.
it matters a lot less who AEW wrestlers vote for or support because AEW is largely staying the fuck out of it.
At
And
least on that corporate level. Yeah,
yeah,
for
yeah. At
sure.
least
Like
while I
Tony
would
would
like,
probably let anybody wear whatever they
oh yeah,
wanted
yeah, yeah.
to.
We're gonna see, the fans doing the trans rights or human rights signs and Kenny cuddling up to that person, or the fuck abolish ice t-shirts from Brody King, stuff like that. We're gonna see that, and Tony Khan's cool with letting them do that, and that's cool. But he is not, as an organization, participating
Yeah.
in American
Well,
politics,
and
and
the other side of
as
that
long as he
coin
doesn't,
is
I'm
he
fine
would
with it.
probably, if somebody else on his roster had the balls to actually wear a shirt that said, something in support of ICE, as long as it wasn't, you know, absolutely, you know, outrageous beyond the fundamental level of it being ICE. If somebody actually had the balls to wear a shirt in support of ICE, despite Brody King being in that locker room with them and it being the crap out of you, because he would, Tony would probably just still let him
Oh
walk
yeah,
out there that
he
way
would
too.
let them walk out like that.
Yeah, it's not.
But he
He's
would
not taking
probably
a
tell
stand.
them. He'd
He's
probably
he's
tell them
letting
like,
anybody do whatever they want.
you have
That's
to
the deal.
understand the implications of what you're doing with the fans that are sitting on the other side of that curtain. But if that's what you want to do, man, you do
Yeah.
you.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, he's Sammy Guevara is a perfect example of this. He has opened his mouth and said some fucking stupid shit
Yep.
on like live radio and interviews and shit like that, and that you can't take away because this is all happening in the internet age where you're stuck now. You did that shit, you put it out in public, and now everybody knows. And
It's the big Damo quote. Some wrestlers are just fucking stupid. Like, what do you want?
yeah, exactly. Some wrestlers are just fucking stupid. What do you? And some of them are, man. Some of them are fucking brilliant, and some of them are fucking really stupid, man. Like, and then I've met everybody on both sides of that and in between. Like, there is a wrestling is a lot like society, except that wrestling by its very nature, like, is endearing to Southern people. And so a lot of us take part in the business, and you will find one or two or 10 or 50 of us floating around in pretty much every organization on the
Yeah,
planet.
fine.
Um, Even AEW. And so, I mean, yeah, pick a wrestler you like. Everybody loves Ricochet, right? We all know how much of a piece of shit he is.
Yep. Yep.
So, I mean, yeah, pick
Ricochet.
your poison, really. Pick your poison.
I am excited for his match with Shelton Benjamin next week, though.
I am too. I'm
I'm
excited to see
very
him get the
excited. That piques my
absolute
interest.
shit kicked out of him because that's gonna happen.
That
Like,
dude's gonna
I
get
don't know who's gonna
yeeted all over
win.
the place.
I don't know who's gonna win, but Shelton is 100% getting some offense in, and it's gonna look like it's killing him, and it's gonna be fucking amazing.
He's gonna yeet him. He's gonna try for the record. He's gonna try and beat Keith Lee yeeting Isaiah Cassidy across the ring. You
Oh,
know he's gonna.
I mean, it's about the same weight
It's
for both
yeah.
of them, so yeah, we could see.
No, the size differential isn't quite there. Keith Lee's a
Well,
big
no, no, I
boy.
mean the weight of the guy
Get
being
wetter soon.
yeeted.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
talking
Oh
about the weight of the
yeah.
guy being yeeted is about
For sure. Yeah.
similar. Isaiah Cassidy,
Yeah.
Ricochet.
Ricochet's more
So
heavily muscled, so
yeah,
maybe a little bit more difficult to get him up. But dude's got springs in his legs, so
yeah, we'll see, we'll see.
we'll see.
Speaking of that, let's get into Dynamite. All right. So, Dynamite for September 3rd, 2025. We are still at the Philadelphia 2300 Arena,
Week 2 of 3.
week two of three.
I'm pretty sure they said they were back at the 2300 this coming week.
Okay, okay, we'll see. This week we start off with I guess
Gabe
Gabe
Kidd,
Kidd. Yeah,
which is not the way I wanted to start this
not me either. I
episode.
hate seeing his face at this point.
I love what happened to him though, so I'm okay with it.
That's fair.
They had a nice, fun little brawl, he and Darby Allin did.
Yeah, yeah.
Darby
And
climbing
then,
up all the way to the top of the pole and then just coffin dropping right down
dude,
onto him.
I was like, oh, there's our
Crazy.
crazy moment for the beginning of the match. And then he pulls out a fucking skateboard with
Yep.
thumbtacks all on it.
And it wasn't even a match. It was just a fight.
No, yeah,
Like,
it was just a fight. And Wheeler Yuta, poor guy, got
oh, not
thumbtacks
poor
full.
guy. He's getting exposure, damn it.
What he
Exposure to dangerous
exposure
elements
to
to his
pointy
skin.
things. Yeah.
But yeah, this was nuts, man. This was a wild, it definitely felt ECW. Very, very much.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but after he hits Yuta on the back with the what he got on the I think on the top rope and came down on him, right? With the thumbtack skateboard right on
Yeah.
his back while he was on
Right
his
on
hands
his
and knees.
back. Yeah.
Jeez Louise, dude. Yuta just
Oh,
got destroyed. But the Death Riders come out after that and the rest of them, and then the lights go out and you see the Hook signal and like Hook is here and he gets like halfway down the ramp and then the Ops' music hit and they come out and it minus Shibata. Shibata
yeah,
wasn't
minus
there.
Shibata,
I
but
don't know what
plus like
Shibata
Willow
was doing.
Nightingale.
Yeah, Will was there.
And
She
they
just
all
kind
just
of
like,
appeared out of the
yeah, she
ether.
just kind of appeared. Yeah.
She
But everybody like runs past
teleported in
Hook
there.
like he didn't exist, you know? Like
Yeah,
they just like, okay, bye.
yeah.
And Hook's just like, the fuck?
They beat up and chase the Death Riders to the back, and then they show in a different part of the backstage area. Uh, Gabe Kidd literally tries to murder Darby Hammer by trying to hit him and bash his skull in with a hammer.
Yeah.
Um, but Darby gets that rag that with presumably kayfabe chloroform that he drugged Mox with a few weeks ago. He knocks out Gabe Kidd, puts him in a body bag, hooks him to the back of a pickup truck, and drives him into Philadelphia. And we never see them again.
And we don't see them again. Yeah, like
Either one of them. Yeah.
presumably Gabe Kidd is still being drugged around the streets of Philadelphia.
Or he's just dead and Darby Allin is in jail.
Yeah, they're dragging pieces of him around Philadelphia.
Like it was wild. But me, I don't like Gabe Kidd. So I like him being carried away in a body bag. So
I
this
was
gets
perfectly
a
fine with
thumbs
that.
up from me.
Yeah, like I don't have
Thumbs
to
up
see
from
Gabe Kidd for the rest of the night with his C word face.
Chav. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
Chav is a good replacement, I guess. For Garbage Kids. Uh,
But yeah, this
um,
felt very, very opening segment of ECW. Like it's very, it continues to be indicative of the spirit that Tony Khan is trying to invoke while they're in residency here at the 2300. And I
yeah,
think he's doing a good job uh, replicating that kind of vibe for the most part.
yeah. After that, we had a video package with showing us how we got to our TBS match, championship match that we're about to have, and then we have our TBS championship match with Mercedes Monet and Alex
Yep.
Windsor. Um,
Technically, Monet does get a special entrance here, sort of, because she wasn't like she couldn't drive a car to the ring or be accompanied by a whole bunch of dudes in this small ass arena. But before she made her entrance, they put all of her other title belts except the TBS title belt on the top rope in like the banners that they have at the top of arenas for like Hall of Fame members and retired jerseys and stuff like that. Like it was a little thing, but I thought it was kind of cool. Like you kind of do what you can in small venues like these to make the moments feel a little bit bigger. I felt like that was something, at least.
yeah, I mean, it was something. I'm just I'm still kind of over this whole thing. So it's like it's like I don't care if she has 11 belts or 9 or whatever. Like two companies with women's championship belts, please call them quickly.
Yeah, yeah. I
Quickly.
want her
Call
to
them
get.
quickly. Oh, let's
I
get to the
am with
11
you on. Let's
so
get
that
to
we can be done
11.
with this shit.
11, and if you absolutely feel the need to, let's get the 37 days now or whatever it is now across the finish line to beat Jade's record. If
Yeah,
you need to, I
if
don't
you
think that's
have to.
necessary
No.
because again, she has so many belts. But like, if you need to do both of those things, and then let's move on. Let's move on with the next part of this Mercedes Monet character where she crashes out as she starts losing her belts one by one.
Yeah.
Because I'm very interested to see where that takes her and who's elevated in the process for that matter. I'm
Yeah.
really interested in that, especially since this match was pretty good.
Yeah.
I
I
thought it was
thought it was
pretty
all
good.
right. It wasn't bad.
Um,
Of course I wanted Windsor to win, and she didn't.
yeah,
But
they did.
at
I'll
least
say
they
this.
didn't do that dumbass backpack move on the much larger Windsor
Yeah,
and make it look
yeah.
dumb, you know.
I'll say for for having only of a week of a proper builds to this one specific singles match off the back of the four way at Forbidden Door, I thought the build was really good. I thought it made you feel like there was actually kind of a chance that Windsor could win it
Yeah.
because even though she's only been here for a cup of coffee, she's already really over and they're pushing her like crazy. Like she's on TV every week.
Yeah.
So uh yeah, I thought that there was a slight chance that she could take it off her, but in the end, I thought the smart money was still on money, uh,
Yeah.
and I wasn't wrong. Um, I like that. I like that the win was like a victory roll kind of deal,
Yeah.
instead of with like a finish because if you're going to continue to push, that's the thing with Mercedes is her opponents tend to just kind of fall by the wayside after they're done.
Yeah.
And I mean, to a lesser extent, that happens with all championship challengers, but with Monet and her really, really long reign now, it's especially evident. Pretty much almost everybody who's challenged her is like, okay, well, with the exception of maybe Statlander, who's bounced back, everybody's just kind of lost to the side. They got beat, and then they've got nothing else planned.
Yeah.
And the the booking of Windsor here with a kind of a roll up victory says to me that okay, she's still going to be on TV. She's still going to be made to look strong. They still have at least tentative plans for her
Yeah.
because otherwise they would just beat her straight up.
Yeah.
Um, I like that she didn't tap to the statement maker. I like that she didn't have to take that terrible backpack finish. So, ultimately, I thought this was a pretty darn good match. Served its purpose. Mercedes really, really sold the ending as if she really, really escaped by the skin of her teeth. And I feel like that's the next step in heading towards her ultimate downfall. Like this is the foreshadowing. It's like it's gonna get harder and harder for her to keep holding on to it.
Yeah.
And I think eventually that's going to happen. Afterwards, Windsor wants a handshake, but Mercedes has no time for that crap. Windsor, that's another thing too. Windsor gets gets to beat her down for a few seconds after the match too, which also bodes well for her future. I felt like
Yeah.
they don't usually let losers do that.
Yeah.
At least losers that they're done with anyway. They're gonna have something for her. But yeah, the when Monet hits her in the face with the belt, who makes the save? But the returning
Rio.
Riho,
Oh my God, this was so
and the
cool.
pop was enormous for that
Yeah.
little building. And I mean, I was watching with my wife, and I'm like, it's Rio! Ha ha
Yeah, I
ha!
was like, hell yes. I was like,
Ah,
finally, somebody, but
good.
she like fucking 2 feet dove right into her, like a
Dude,
full on coup de grace, and just oh
look at this too. Like they're both like 5 foot nothing, right? This
yeah,
match is going to be like proper Joshi stuff because there's not going to be much of a like of a height or a weight disadvantage between them. So
yeah,
this is going to be like proper Joshi stuff, and I'm real excited for that.
that's fair. I am glad to see Riho back though, because she was like broken
Absolutely.
arm or something,
I think
something,
it was
something like that,
elbow or wrist or something, or
something. Yeah,
I
I
don't
can't remember
remember
what it was,
exactly
but
what.
yeah,
But it's great to see her back. I really hope that she stays instead of this intermittent, oh, I'm here for a month or two and then I'm gone again because of work visa crap, like or whatever. I really hope that she sticks around in the States for a long time.
yeah. After that, we had a segment with Hook and the Ops, and basically Hook's a little mad because they replaced him before the body was cold. But Joe kind of explains what's going on.
And he's so cool doing it too. He just gets right in his face like a boss. And he's like, what did you expect us to do? We had a match for the World Trios title. You couldn't make it. We were going to lose the opportunity probably otherwise. So I made the call, and he took like a boss. He took responsibility entirely on
Yeah,
himself. I made the call. So if you have a problem, talk to me. And then Hook gets kind of all pissy about it and walks
yeah. I mean, I
away.
think they're gonna work it out.
Yeah, I think so too.
Probably. Then we have Ricochet and GOA. It
Who
was,
called it?
I
Who
mean,
called
you called it,
it?
but this was like the same. Like, I swear to God, you put Ricochet and GOA in front of a camera, and they do the same promo like over and over. And I'm like, guys, I
Yeah,
get
I
it.
think
Y'all are
I th-
tough, and
half
you're
of it
smart, Ricochet. I get it, man. You like the Eagles,
half of it is
um,
Ricochet
but
working a character, and the other half is the other two not really being super experienced in cutting promos, I
yeah.
think. So
Toa
when it's
like
like,
bursts onto camera like every time he'll just be standing in the back, like not even looking at the camera, and then suddenly it's like he's like right at the camera, and he's like, "Hey,
and I like how
I'm
intense
saying
he
stuff."
is, but like you're right, he's just kind of saying stuff. Like
Yeah, it,
I like the intensity. He's my boy. I love Toa, but yeah, like
yeah.
he and Khan.
Mike guys that like these guys need an Ella ring or something. Like
Well, I mean,
they,
it's like the give divas a chance thing, right?
yeah.
If you don't give them the reps, they're not going to get any better.
I mean, it's fair. Give him
You
his
need
reps,
reps
but
on the
like,
mic too. You need
but this
reps
has
on the mic
been
too.
this is like 3 or 4 promos deep where we're like, okay, bud. Like, I understand.
Yeah,
Like,
but they also
next
went from
time,
having no promos at
next,
all.
yeah, next time they have a promo though, like this, I'm totally gonna see if I can call
Yeah.
like the format before it even starts. Like,
Yeah,
Ricochet's
pause it
gonna
right
talk about,
there. This is
yeah,
what's gonna happen.
Ricochet's gonna talk about how smart he is and how much he doesn't like the Hurt Syndicate, and then Toa's gonna get really loud and talk about how he doesn't like the Hurt Syndicate, and Bishop
Bishop's
Khan's
gonna
gonna
clap his
stand in
head.
the back, clapping a little bit and rubbing his own wrists because that's what he does.
I like all of those guys, but
Please,
yeah, there's a format.
hey, somebody from AEW is obviously listening to us, so watch that format change next week. Watch them like I swear to God, when I say bad things about wrestlers, they end up getting fit. Like I said all that bad stuff about Paul Walter Hauser, and then he went out and had that banger freaking
Yeah,
match with QT Marshall, who I also say lots of bad things about.
yeah.
Um, I said a bunch of bad stuff about Don Callis last week, and now he's choking out the Cookie Kid. When did they decide to turn him face? Like I swear to God, they're taking like, hey, dude, this guy. I listen to this podcast every week. They have very good advice for us. This guy said bad stuff about you here,
You
and
know
makes them
who?
listen to my 5 minute rant. And then the next week, shit changes. Like it's so weird
If
how.
that's true, hey, could you maybe like advertise for us a little bit? That'd be nice. Tell your friends about
Yeah.
us.
Or alternatively, I will quit doing this podcast. You can put me to work. Adam too. I only
Yeah,
go
that's
if
true.
Adam goes. So
That's true. Yeah, we're a team. We're a package deal.
yeah. But I will totally quit doing this in the name of NDA and
Yeah,
just sit at Gorilla and tell you what I think. Like maybe you
yeah,
shouldn't walk out there looking like that.
yeah. It'd be a fun way to collect the paycheck. That's for damn
Hell
sure.
yeah, would I'll
I
take it.
I will not lie. I will be
Mm.
completely
I'll do
upfront
whatever
about
else you
that.
want. You want me to help break down the ring too? Because I'm down with that.
I would actually like to learn how to do that. So I want to see how it's constructed.
It's
I
easy
know
to
it's
do. It's just a pain in the ass because all this shit's real heavy. So
yeah,
it takes a lot of people to make it do it quick.
fair enough.
But yeah. So
Let's back
like
up to the show.
anyway, back to Ricochet and GOA. Yeah, they this is basically the same format. I mean, we have literally gone over what they did.
Yeah.
Cool. After that, we
But
got
they're gonna finish it in Toronto, right? So we've got
yeah,
the challenge laid down.
yeah. So we're gonna see Hurt Syndicate and Ricochet and GOA at all. I guess with like Hurt Syndicate and MVP, or is it
Yeah.
just gonna be Hurt Syndicate and
Well, I
GOA?
mean, MVP is part of the Hurt Syndicate. He just in later on when they do their return promo, he says that he makes a reference to getting the singlet back on. So
Oh
I
well, I
assume it's
mean,
going to be MVP. I mean, they could do the fake out, and it could be Cedric that they put in his place.
I mean, it would be cool, but I still haven't heard anything about the
That
Cedric thing.
way,
If
that
they're
way, you
doing the
got
Cedric thing, it's been kept very quiet.
yeah,
So
yeah. I think so too. I mean, at this point, if they don't introduce him here, I think it's fair to say that we probably won't see him in AEW, and it'll probably be due to leftover hurt feelings with Swole.
maybe.
So I think that's probably what's going on. I know that he's enjoying the indies. I see clips of him every now and then. He's grown out his hair real long, but I feel like this would be the perfect time to introduce him if they were going to do it, because
Yeah.
then you can pull the bait and switch. You can say, "Oh, we're, training for me," but you know, we also have. You said this goes back years into to the other place, yeah. You know who else was in the hurt business, or in the business of hurting people back then with us, and then you bring out Cedric, and that way you have two trios where there's two big bruiser dudes and one little flippy guy.
Yeah.
And so it's like they mirror each other more or less.
Yeah. So after that, Mark Briscoe comes to the ring and begins his promo by calling Don Callis and Elton John look-alike dressed up as prosthetic penis for Halloween, which I don't
Yeah,
disagree
he
with.
no, I don't think dong phallus as he is.
Don Callis, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
uh
his pee hole's crooked. I mean, like, I mean,
I don't think there's anything else needs to be said about that
no,
aspect.
not really. But anyway, Don Callis shows up with Rocky Romero and Lance Archer, and I'm like, okay, is he going to name the person? And he does, and it's Kenosuke, but Kenosuke's not there. And Mark Briscoe wants a match right now. And I knew this was going to happen because Lance Archer showed up in his gear, which he
In his
never
gear, in
does
full
unless he's
gear.
yeah,
Yeah.
unless he's actually wrestling. He doesn't do that. So
Nope.
I knew he was about to get in the ring with Mark Briscoe. I knew this was
Yeah.
going to happen. And then Mark Briscoe, as I kind of figured would happen, beat Lance Archer
Yeah.
because
I
I feel like Mark Briscoe needed a win on this, but as soon as he said he was going to wrestle Konosuke Takeshita, I was like, Takeshita's a G1 winner. He's also signed to NJPW and DDT.
yeah.
He's probably about to win the New Japan World Championship. I
They're
don't
gonna
think they're
protect him.
gonna let Mark Briscoe go over him. I just didn't
Yeah.
think it was going to happen. How it happened, I couldn't have called that, but I knew he wasn't going to
No.
win.
Yeah, me too. Uh
No,
yeah, I see
yeah,
if I was booking this, I would have done everything the same except one thing. It's a little thing, and maybe it's inconsequential to a lot of people, but to me, it's the same thing that you mentioned. I would have had Lance Archer come out in the street clothes.
yeah,
If he had to wear knee pads under his jeans, fine, whatever. But
yeah.
like, if you want to give the illusion that this was impromptu, go the extra mile
He
and
shouldn't have been in
have
his
him
fucking gear. Yeah,
exactly like if he's already in his gear, like unless he had, and he may have for all I know, but unless he was in a dark match before the show already and he was in his gear, which may
yeah,
have happened. Again, I don't know. And if so, then I retract this because the live audience wouldn't have reacted the same if this was the case. It would have been like, oh, you had a match already. Of course he's already here. But if he didn't, then it's like it's a clear giveaway of what's going to happen. Like there's foreshadowing, and then there's just giving the story. There's a difference between foreshadowing and spoilers.
Yeah.
You know, and this was a spoiler, and I'd rather
Yeah.
not be spoiled. I'd rather be foreshadowed.
Word.
But that was
After
it. Ultimately, it doesn't really change the fact that the match was okay. It was
Yeah, the
okay.
match was okay. It wasn't much. It wasn't nothing real special, but I did enjoy it because I like watching Mark Briscoe.
I
And
liked watching him try to get him up in the J Driller several
dude,
times.
he was trying to, wasn't he?
He was trying,
Yeah, he
man.
was trying like hell. But the Froggy Bow does it at the end, and he gets a nice win on his way to collision with Takeshita. So,
Yeah.
um, after that, we have Timeless Tony Storm promo, um, as only she can do, with tons of innuendo and good stuff like that.
And she
Starting off
comes
by
up with
calling
the
the Philadelphia people freaks.
they are.
They are, yeah.
They are.
But she said, no forever champion or belt collector could take her belt. Obvious shots at Athena and Mercedes. Who I'm a little disappointed that Athena didn't show up on TV this week. I
Yeah.
feel like she's going right back down to ROH where it's obvious she doesn't belong. She belongs up here at
Yeah.
AEW.
She did break the 1,000 day mark.
Yeah.
Um, you want it? Do you think they're gonna get real ultra petty and make sure that she breaks Roman Reigns' Universal title reign?
They might, but I still don't think that's like the longest title reign ever. So,
No, but it's the longest one in the modern era by a long shot.
I mean,
Like,
they could, but why wouldn't
like
they
I
do
said,
that?
it'd be
Like,
super
if they're
petty
going to do that, why don't we do it with like Tony Storm or Hangman?
because they already had somebody who was in the midst of a long reign, and it's easier to do that with somebody who's already at the back over the hill of it than it is
Yeah,
to
that's
create
fair, I
one and then
guess.
do that. I my thoughts are that they're going to do it. They're going to break 1,074 days or whatever it is. I can't remember
Yeah,
exactly
something
the
like
day.
that.
I think they're going to break it, but I don't actually think it's going to be on purpose. It's just that Tony Khan just isn't going to book her to lose. Like like he's been doing. I think he's just going to continue what he's been doing with Athena, and then when he's ready, he's ready. But I don't think it has anything to do with the title reign record, the recent one. I think
Maybe
it
not.
is a happenstance. But once it happens, he will gladly entertain people who uh said, "Oh yeah, she was a more dominant champion than Roman Reigns. Defended her belt way more often too." That kind of stuff. I don't think
Yeah.
that is his goal, but he will gladly take the good press from it, let's say.
Yeah, I'm sure he would. But yeah, so I mean, yeah, just basic Tony Storm promo. Didn't really
I
go
love this
anywhere.
I love this whole thing though with her where she's a woman looking for her murder.
Yeah.
Like I kind of love that. Like it's a really interesting take on it. On like who can beat me? Like I'm unbeatable. She's getting even more insanely uh you know self-indulgent and self-involved, self-important. But in that really she's already won our good graces over. She's already won us over, so it's not like she has any intention of turning heel or anything like that. And I'm sure it will culminate in her downfall, her own hubris will, but it's a nice spin on it. I've never heard anybody put it like that before. It's very poetic.
No. Um, I mean, I imagine she's gonna get much, much, much more erratic before before we get to the end of this. So we'll see how it goes.
Who
I feel like
knows?
we
Maybe
might be in a
she'll catch some seasonal affective disorder and lose her title due to depression.
I don't know, maybe I'm just I'm kind of I feel
That's
like we
how it
might
happened with
be
me.
I mean, until Saturday, I felt like we might be kind of in a lull at this point, especially like on Wednesday, like watching this. I thought we might be at a little bit of a lull here, and I didn't see where we were going. I mean, I didn't understand, but this really wasn't going anywhere. It was just kind of a recap, like this is what's happened. So who's next? And we didn't know. So it was like, okay, what's happening now? Um, but we got good news about that, so we'll talk about that later. Uh, After that, Harley Cameron and Chris Statlander are backstage with Renee, and Cameron is Harley's, talking about her mask and how her mask isn't working really well, but Stat's telling her, your wrath doesn't come from the mask, and so she pulls the mask off and she's painted up like a cat, and talks about how the wrath comes from her, but then like goes kind of off the wall and calls out Brodito.
And Stats like,
Don't do that. No, 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 no.
don't do that, please. I don't blame Statlander. I don't blame her at all. Harley had to do it, accept the challenge, but like Harley crazy,
Yeah.
Harley crazy.
But then, they just tries to get her back on track about Megan Bain and Penelope Ford. And then Wheeler Yuta shows up. I, I'm just like, I'm so fed up with the Death Riders thing. This is all, I'm like fed up with this too already. Like, just, can we stop? Just
Or at
like,
least move on.
yeah,
Like
or move
get to where
on.
you're
Like,
going.
yeah, yeah, come on. Like, this is like, if y'all didn't have a great idea going into this, we should have gotten this far. And now it's been the same thing week after week. Like,
My my
shit or get off
head
the pot.
canon, my head canon that I want to believe, but it's just head canon. It doesn't matter. It's not real. But I want to believe that they're trying to draw this out as a way to put over the women's tag belts because if he has a date set for it sometime after the Continental Classic is done, which would put it in late December or early January, then you've got all this time that you need to draw out the Willow and Stat thing and have it conclude where they're best friends again. And this is a way to tease that, have her, tease going to the Death Riders and Willow saying, "Oh no, please don't do that. I'm sorry. Like I didn't. I did. If I had known that this was going to happen because I rebuffed you, I would have forgiven you because it's really not that big a deal at the end of the day, and I'm just holding on to my feelings. Please don't do this." And then have them back together in time for the tournament to crown the new champs, and then crown them your first women's tag champs. That's what I want to believe. I have no idea what's actually what I do know is that it's weird for the Death Riders to be in recruitment mode when they should be in disillusion mode, dissolution mode. It's like he's Moxley's lost the belt. Okay, now's the time where you put over all those guys that you beat early on, and then you
Mm-hmm.
disappear for a while and come back refreshed.
Yeah.
So why are you in recruitment? Why are the Death Riders looking to get bigger? Like, no, please, no, we're done. This is about their down. Like, yes, keep them booking strong enough to be seen as a threat for sure, but like, don't put them in recruitment mode. I don't want to see this become the NWO, where there was a zillion people in it with no purpose whatsoever.
I feel like we're heading for like two more, and I don't want that to happen at all. Like
Like, I
just
don't,
at all.
I don't even mind if you like. Well, we'll talk a little bit about the other person that they're recruiting on Collision because it happened, more
Yeah.
stuff happened on that show.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Stat looks like she's being worn down little bit by little bit. And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
no.
After that we
Anyway,
had a tag team championship match between Brodito and Claudio and Wheeler of said Death Riders. Um I figured with I don't feel like they're gonna just change these titles anytime soon.
No,
So I kind of knew how this was gonna go, but it was fun anyway. Um,
it does establish, it's like, oh, they beat the Death Riders. Like there's still some, they had a long reign as trios champion. Even if they did really defended all that often, they're still booked strong. Going over them, especially, I mean, it was Yuta who took the pin, but still going over Claudia, you still carries some weight.
yeah. Um, Bandito did celebrate with a Macarena at one point in this match and killed Brody. Like I don't think he knew. I don't think he was expecting that, and
Yeah,
I
I
think
think that
he
was
he had to
completely off
get
the
out of the
cuff.
ring so he wasn't laughing in front of the camera. Basically, like I was laughing.
It was great. I
It
loved it.
was great. I was just like, oh, hey, he's doing the Macarena, and Brody's just like, oh no, 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 no. So yeah, yeah, but this was the match was a lot of fun. I thought. Um, let's see, they actually pulled off their tag team moves this time, and in a new one, there was another new one that they hadn't done before. But it's
Uh,
mostly just Brody throwing Bandito around
yeah,
like a
big guy,
wrestling
small
buddy.
guy offense. Yeah,
Yeah, for sure. Like a lot of that. Um, let's see.
yeah, it was good stuff. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, Bandito actually hit his 21 plex for the first time in a long time to catch the pin on this one.
and Yuta continues to lose in his hometown, and people of his
It would
hometown
be
are
funny
still
if we
okay with
got.
it.
It would be funny if we got through this whole residency and you didn't catch a dub.
It would be great.
It would be
They should
fucking
book. They
hilarious.
should have booked him in a match on each of the six shows and the Ring of Honor show. They should have booked him on like all of the shows and have him lose every single time.
That would have been hilarious.
Have him just completely crash out by the
Don't
end.
even tell him it's on purpose either. Just be like, hey, you're not going over. He's going over today.
Yeah.
About the sixth time, he just be like, what the fuck? I'm at home. I can't get a win here.
Yeah.
Um, after that, we've got Renee backstage with Okada, who is, I guess, trying to show dominance over Takeshita, and I don't feel like that's going to go well for Okada.
I don't think so either. Like
So yeah,
the whole point of Okada with this long title reign and the unified title and everything is he's getting cocky while Takeshita is putting in the work and he is working, working, working. Won the G1, had a really good international title reign, the whole deal. I don't think he wants any of Takeshita at
no,
this
I don't think
moment
so
in
either.
time. If this was a year ago or 2 years ago, maybe even a year ago, I would say, okay, yeah, I would see Okada definitely going over. I am not that sure now at all. In fact, I'm pretty sure it'd go the other way.
Yeah. After that, we've got Hurt Syndicate with Renee Paquette, and they're just basically accepting Ricochet's challenge. Um,
Yeah, like I said, here's where MVP said, "Yeah, you want to get me in the tights again? Yeah, let's go." Basically, so
yeah. And also asking why GOA listened to Ricochet, which is a good question that is always a great way to, plant a breakup thing.
it's a little
So
too early for that,
it
though.
is a little early for that though. Yeah.
Like they
Um,
just teamed up like a month and a half, 2 months ago. Like,
yeah.
what is this? The Union?
So after that, Copeland comes out and he gets attacked by FTR pretty much immediately.
Yeah,
But
he
then
turns around to wait for Cage, and everybody's waiting for Cage to come out, and then nobody does.
yeah, so FTR just attacks him, and then
Yeah,
finally Cage shows up to even the odds. Um, they're brawling really hard, and then instead of regular security, I guess the ROH locker room all decided to show up,
for some
which was
reason.
weird here. But then Harwood was I guess he planted Jordan Oliver with the spike pile driver, and that pissed off Adam Priest. So Adam Priest went after Dax
Yeah,
and like busted him open. and they
It
were
was so
fighting.
fun. Parts of this were so good, and parts of it were funny. Like the pile driver was super funny because you
Yeah,
had all these dudes standing around just watching it happen. Oh no, no, no! It's
and
like
then they wanted to
just
act mad
rush.
afterwards.
It's like just rush him.
Yeah, like just stop the
There
pile
are like
driver. Like, what are
there are
y'all
like
doing?
10 of you surrounding him. Just pull the guy's legs down.
Right?
Like you're all right there, man. Like, just do
Yeah,
it. That
but
being
then,
said, I love when if FTR gets in these brawls because every time they do, it looks real.
yeah,
Like they are so good at the pull aparts. I don't know what it is about them in particular in these situations, but I believe them in these pull aparts more than anybody else. Like
yeah,
they make it like I think it helps that Dax always is like, yeah, punch me for real, so I can get open hard way. Like he
right,
always winds up bloody. Like,
yeah. Like it's almost easy to do it now.
yeah,
Probably got like one piece of scar tissue where he's like, "You can just hit me right here, and
just hit me right
I'll
here.
just start bleeding."
This is my Abdullah spot right here.
Yeah, right.
Like,
Yeah, yeah. I'll put quarters in it. Watch.
yep. Yeah, I'll
But
mean mug you, and the quarter will just stay there.
yeah. So after the brawl, we've got Stokely and FTR backstage, and uh
Pissed.
they're pissed off. But before
Really
Big Stokely could
pissed.
say anything, Priest comes over and Dax is like berating him about busting him open, basically. And they tell him to apologize and that they're gonna, he needs to find a partner because they're gonna fight this out on Collision. Okay, cool. I
Yeah, it
have
was
no
like,
idea who
what,
Adam
you're on
Priest
TV
is.
one time and you think you can step? Yeah,
Right.
we'll
I
see.
have no idea who Adam Priest is, besides the fact that the first time I saw him, I thought that was Crash Holly, and I knew Crash Holly was
Yeah,
dead. So I
yeah,
was like, whoa.
real big Crash Holly, like James Gibson vibes,
Yeah.
little guy with a big attitude, that kind of
Yeah.
deal.
But he looks like Crash Holly.
Yeah, he does. He
And that's
does. It's
unfortunate.
crazy.
Because that's going to invite that comparison pretty much every time, especially with his
I
stature.
mean, I loved Crash. That's not a bad
It's
thing.
like if Crash Holly and He Who Shall Not Be Named had a baby. We'll
Yeah.
talk about that more on
Kinda,
Collision.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, yeah.
Um,
That's a pretty good comparison, actually.
yeah. So then we had our 8-man tag with Kyle Fletcher, Josh Alexander, and the Bucks
Predictably
against
awesome.
against Adam Page, Kenny Omega, and Jet Speed. And this was really great until it wasn't. And I don't mean bad like the
Oof.
match was bad. I mean,
No, the match was great. It was the
this was a
aftermath
little
was such a
excessive at
downer.
the end.
It
Yeah,
was a downer, man.
it was a little excessive
And
on top of
for the
that.
record, from a storytelling perspective, I loved that they did it. In the moment, in my feelings, I was like, oh, I feel just like, oh man. Like I felt so bad for everybody involved. Specifically, specifically Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
But the match itself was predictably awesome. These the 8 person really tags never fail. Like it's been kind of low key AEW specialty this year is these 8 person tag matches. They're
Yeah.
all fun. They're all great. They're all like it was fantastic. Um, but yeah, towards the end or after the uh what it's the what is it? Who does Fletcher pin? It picks off Knight off,
Uh
right? Off of Alexander's shoulders with the
yeah, I think it was
brainbuster, right?
Night. Yeah.
Which I thought was fantastic. It
Yeah.
was a great, like, just transition there. Oh, and this entire match, the story of this entire match was Kyle Fletcher was taking this opportunity to step up and challenge Hangman at every opportunity. Even on the apron, he was mean mugging the entire time and he felt like a big, huge star, a huge deal. And like, if this was designed to get him over, oh boy, howdy, did it ever get him over as somebody who might be able to beat Hangman Page?
Yeah.
Like every single there were so many times they just fed guys to Fletcher and he just ate them up, and it was just like I mean it's not like everybody didn't contribute, everybody got some shine, but like oh man, Fletcher looked like $1 million in this. He got the win. After the match, the Bucks brawl with Jet Speed. to the outs. I think it was jet speed to the outside,
Yeah. Yeah.
leaving just Kenny and Paige in the ring for not just Josh Alexander and Fletcher to pick bones, but the rest of
The
the
whole
Don
Don Callis
Callis
family,
family,
basically.
at least whoever all was there. There were like nine
Yeah.
guys and like six came down or whatever. And they just beat the hell out of them. And they beat up Kenny Omega, took a brainbuster through a table from the apron to the
Yeah.
ludicrous. Fletcher looked like a an assassin.
Yeah.
Like, if anything, that probably made it very clear that All Out's main event is going to be very good.
Yeah.
Very, very good because it looks like they're setting up Hanger and Fletcher. Um, I mean, I don't have anything else to say. Everybody looked amazing, especially Fletcher here.
Yeah. It was a really great match. Fletcher just, they're really strapping a rocket ship to his ass, aren't they, man?
Yeah,
Like they, like,
like I don't think he's going to win the belt. He's already got the TNT title. There's no
maybe
reason to
not
put the
right
world title.
now,
But no, I
but
mean no here. I don't mean
if he's not the world
here. I
champion
mean
in the next year or so,
I would be
I'll
very
probably
surprised.
very surprised. Yeah.
Well, maybe not year, the way TK books things. 2 years, I would say.
Two. Yeah.
But yeah, if he's not, if he and Konosuke Takeshita aren't like battling back and forth for the world title in 2 years' time, I don't know what we're doing.
Yeah. No, neither.
Honestly, I just don't know what we're doing.
No. With that said, though, I
But
think it was a pretty good
yeah,
dynamite all together. Um,
it was really cool to see Hanger and Kenny back together again too,
yeah.
because this was obviously a way to get them back on TV and put them, uh, canonize them as being back on the same page finally after years and years.
Yeah.
Before writing Kenny off so that he can take care of some medical stuff that was, according to him, prearranged months ago. This wasn't stuff that just came up. This was stuff that he knew he would need to take time off to deal with because
Yeah.
so the rumor mill did what the rumor mill did until he went online and was like, look, this was scheduled months in advance, guys.
Right.
So good luck to Kenny. He takes care of that. Uh, man, I really hope he gets like completely healthy. I don't ever expect it, but like it would be really great.
He could probably get close, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's in fantastic shape, so I can only assume that that probably helps.
It's not like
Um,
Brock with his diverticulitis. Not to downplay diverticulitis. It's life threatening. I don't want to ever do that. But like when
yeah.
Brock came back, he was wrestling 5 minute matches 4 times.
Yeah. He wasn't
This is
doing
Kenny
shit like this.
Omega,
This
who
8 man was
even on a
almost an
part-time
hour.
schedule was still on TV wrestling full matches at least once or twice a month,
Yeah.
doing Kenny Omega matches. So like it's a bit different.
Yeah. No,
Bit
just
more
40
strenuous for
suplexes in
somebody
a
like Kenny
row.
than it is for somebody like Brock.
Yeah,
So,
probably. So
but yeah, this was a
Collision.
really good dynamite. Yeah,
Yeah. It was a good dynamite. I thought it was good.
but as
But
good as dynamite was,
Collision was so much better than
holy cow,
dynamite.
Collision was uh, almost perfect. I feel
I
like
think this was
almost.
the best collision
I mean,
that
that ever
ever aired.
collisioned, that ever
Yeah, the
collided.
best collision that ever collided, the best that ever did it.
uh,
Um,
I
this
was
collision's
hyped for
definitely doing
this.
its 1,000 sit-ups a day.
This was so breezy too. This did not seem like it was 2 hours
No, it
to
didn't.
me.
It went
Like
by
it
like it was
flew
nothing.
by, and
Yeah.
in the best way possible.
Right.
Starts with Danny Garcia versus John Moxley, with Daddy Magic already at the table, ready to go,
Yeah.
which I think helped things because that means you had that couple minutes you saved on his entrance for for more wrestling.
Yeah.
So always good. Um, Garcia, oh Moxley sold so much for Garcia in this match, even more than in the last one. And I thought Garcia looked like roses coming out of that one. He looked like a killer in this match.
Yeah.
I thought like I
Um,
incredible,
see,
incredible fight.
there's for me, I felt like Moxley was selling everything until he wasn't.
I mean, that's kind of the Moxley style.
And I just like this is more for me. The match being so good is actually more frustrating because the Death Riders are supposed to be in this disillusion phase. John Moxley should be like in, you know, beside himself in grief for his world championship and losing to people like Daniel Garcia. The fact that
But
they
yeah,
keep putting Danny Garcia in these positions and giving him L's for his trouble feels counterproductive to me. And I also feel like they might be trying to fold him into the Death Rider, which I don't want to
yeah,
happen.
that's I mean, they're trying to tease that with last week with him jumping up on the apron before his match with Vanilla Baby, and he jumped up on the apron, out of nowhere. He just materialized, he teleported there, whispered something in Danny's ear that we never found out what it was. And then to this one, there was at one point where he was Garcia was thrown to the outside, and Maria Shafir actually helps him up,
Yeah.
like offers the hand. He refuses it. She grabs his hand and pulls him up anyway,
Yeah.
like and just kind of says, "Okay, there you go back to the ring." Like it's very clear that with Statlander, they're trying to recruit Danny Garcia, and Moxley keeps winning against him through like again fluky means, continually fluky means, roll ups that get reversed and stuff. So you see the frustration building up. Even after this match, he didn't want to talk to Daddy Magic, kind of blew him off. Got mad at
Yeah.
the cameraman as he was walking up the ramp. Didn't want to really talk to Tony Schiavone with the microphone in his face. Just
Yeah.
the frustration bubbling over. I too worry that they're gonna have him join the Death Riders. But I think in his case, given the volatile nature of his emotions, you might be able to do something different there, where like he temporarily joins, but then like just he's such a hothead that he just doesn't get along with anybody, and so he just leaves,
Yeah.
and then they target him for leaving, that kind of deal, and that's when he gets his W's. Um, I could see that happening. Moxley cuts a promo later that we'll talk about that kind of sheds some light on where they're going with this, but not it doesn't put the sun in the sky. Let's just say that.
Yeah. After that, we sorry. After that, we had our my first big pop moment of the night, really. And we had Big Bill and the bounty hunter Brian Keith just backstage by themselves. Bill's reminding everybody of of his accomplishments since the last time he was in 2300 Arena. Um, Brian Keith
What
playing
happens?
a funny and excellent hype man. I don't
What?
remember what he's talking about, to be very
Yeah.
honest with you.
Was it like I know that when he got released from WWE that he was dealing with alcohol issues, stuff like that. And then he hit the indies and it was really rough for him, but I don't remember any specific instances off the top of my head of things that went wrong with it. Apparently something must have happened in Philadelphia
Yeah,
because
I'm not sure
he
what it was.
referenced that and he ran down Philly, which,
Yeah.
I appreciate personally. Uh, and talked of the virtues of being from a tough guy from New York City, which brought him to the thing that popped both of us and
Yeah.
everybody in the 2300.
Yeah. And that is that he called out Eddie Kingston, which means,
He
I mean,
called,
you're,
well, wait a minute, hang on. He called out Eddie, huge pop
yeah.
Kingston. They
Yeah.
didn't have
Okay.
to say
Didn't
his
have to say his
last
last name.
name, and everybody erupted.
Now, you don't invoke someone's name like this unless they are on the cusp of returning to television.
Not in wrestling.
Um, the only problem I have with this is that Eddie should be coming back to kick John Moxley's ass, not Big Bill.
Yeah. I mean, Big Bill is there specifically to give Eddie Kingston a return match where he looks strong and then goes on to something else. This is not a long drawn out feud. This is
Eddie
something to,
Kingston and John Moxley need to come
you know,
face to face sooner than later.
yeah.
Because
It's not
what
a come
Eddie Kingston
it's
does
not a
in
come
that
to
moment,
Jesus moment. It's a come to Eddie.
yeah, and what Eddie Kingston does in that moment is going to be very important to how the rest of this Death Rider storyline plays out. Like AEW loves their lore. If they don't mix Eddie into this, they are just denying what they do. Like it's just that's not what they do. Like Eddie and Mox have to come face to face, and there has to be a reckoning concerning the Death Riders, and
Yeah,
versus the people who pay Eddie's fucking salary. You
Eddie
know,
Kingston has been off AEW TV for like a year and a half. It's been a long
ever
time
since
since he's
Gabe
been there.
Kidd broke his leg.
Yeah. So he hates Gabe Kidd. He hates Claudio. He could care less about Yuta. He could care less about Marina. And he has very complicated feelings towards Moxley.
But 3 out of 5 ain't bad.
3 out of
So
5 is great.
yeah,
I
that's enough for
feel
Eddie to be pissed.
I feel like you're right. I feel like the end of this, but Eddie has been unfortunate in that he's been injured, but fortunate that he's been injured so long that he's missed this entire story.
Yeah,
So bringing him in will bring a very fresh perspective from somebody who's been looking on from the outside and watching his friend do all this stuff and interact how he's been interacting. He hates Brian Danielson, but he respects the hell out of him. And he would never try to suffocate him with a plastic bag. He could say, "Am I next? You're gonna try and I dare you to try and choke me out. You know,
it'd be funny.
do it,
You know,
do
it'd
it.
be
You know
it'd be hilarious.
what?
Before his match with Bill, Eddie's just walking through the back, and he happens upon John Moxley, and he says he just like rummages around in his pocket, and he pulls out a piece of chain with a piece of fucking body bag attached to it, and he's like, Darby dropped this off in my house and just said you're welcome. And it just says to John on it or something like that. And like he hands it to him and he walks off. He's like, I have no
Oh,
idea why he said you're welcome. Do you know what was in this?
it would be great. It would be better if Gabe Kidd had hair and you could put some of his hair in there. Like if can you imagine
I
if
mean,
he
he
was
can
a
spare a couple
ginger
teeth.
and like well,
He's got like
well,
700 teeth. He can spare a couple.
well, here's the thing though. You would have to establish that he lost them in order for them because otherwise you put teeth in there and then he shows up with a full set. It's like, well, what's going on?
Maybe he's got some of them
Did
funky ones
he
you can pop out like
maybe he
Christmas.
just stole them from Danhausen. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
Put
Either way, but
Danhausen on
yeah,
my TV,
like,
damn it. Um
oh, I would wager the chances of you seeing him on your TV are not going to be good because you don't watch the company he's going to pop up on TV for next.
I know. I mean, good luck for him.
I mean, there's two different directions he could go, and you don't watch either of them.
Yep.
So, fucking, we don't,
No, it's
we may
true.
not see that. We may not see Dan Haslam for a while on our televisions.
Can you imagine if somebody like him actually showed up in New Japan of all places?
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
But he's going to show up at AAA, at least at AAA for
Yeah.
the crossover with Iguana Man. That's at least going to
Yeah,
happen.
it's gotta.
Other than that, I don't know. I just know that he's good friends with CM Punk, and
Yep.
like,
I mean, people who know Dan has nobody who knows him dislikes him.
oh no, no,
Not
and
for
he's
real.
if you've ever
MJF will make
interacted
a
with
big
him online, he's fucking super
MJF and
nice.
Ethan Page will heal it out for kayfabe purposes, but they love that guy.
Obviously,
They love that
yeah,
guy. He's a lovable person.
yeah.
Um,
Everybody I know that has interacted with him on the wrestling side of things is super into him. Like You bring up his name like around here at the Indies, with especially with the guys who've been doing this a long time and done a lot of Indies and worked a lot of different people. Like you're like, hey, we should bring Danhausen, and they're like, yes, let's
Yeah.
do that. And then usually they find out how much it is, and they're like, oh no, so let's not do that. And I'm like, yeah, he requires a lot of human monies.
Yep.
Um, but
He's got to buy that blimp.
yeah, but still, yeah, we're gonna get Eddie back soon
Yeah.
because you don't invoke someone like this without them showing back up. So
I think that Darby beats I think Darby beats Mox because you have to have him beat Mox. And then the final boss essentially for Mox to lose to before he goes away off TV is Eddie Kingston. Like, can you imagine how the crowd is going to react when he beats Mox again?
oh, dude, they're
Like,
gonna fucking go crazy.
yeah, it's going to be nuts, man. It's going to be
Yeah.
absolutely banana.
But okay, so after that we had FTR, and they're taking on Adam Priest as they said they were going to take on Wednesday, but he comes out with Dynamite Kid Tommy Billington,
Back from
which is
injury.
where I draw the Crash
Yeah.
Holly and He Who Shall Not Be Named had a baby, especially after the way they wrestled with their diving headbutts and stuff like that.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen a double diving headbutt before.
No, I haven't either, and that was pretty awesome.
It was awesome. I wouldn't suggest they do it often, but it was awesome.
Yeah. Um,
Listen to Harley Race. If Harley Race tells you not to do the diving headbutt too often, don't do the diving headbutt too often.
yeah,
Don't do it. Save it for your big moments.
yeah.
I
Um,
mean, Grant, for them, this was a big moment. This is the first time they've been on. Adam Priest is just getting on TV. Tommy Billington is just coming back from injury. I see that as a big moment for them. Good for them. And this match, for the record, you know, was a lot better than it probably had any right to be. I
oh, it
say,
was real good.
FTR is the best tag team in the world, and I will go on record saying that time and time again. But like, I didn't expect this to be nearly as long as it was, or as competitive as it was. Like, I know that Tommy was just coming back from injury, but TK must really like this Adam Priest kid. Like, or maybe FTR did. Maybe they uh wanted to work with him and requested it. They've been known to do that before.
Yeah,
So maybe it's that. But either way, this was much more competitive than I thought it was going to be, and I thought it was better for it.
yeah. I
I
thought it
mean,
was a really good one, man.
yeah,
I thought it was a great match. I expect good work out of Tommy Billington, and I usually get what I want.
yeah,
And FTR is always great. Adam Priest added to this equation was good. First time I've seen a Power and Glory get a dub in a long time. Also,
yeah. I like how they're winning with different stuff. You
yeah,
can do that. Like you can do the Japanese thing where everybody like where finishers aren't necessarily finishers. You can do that in American wrestling promotions if it's just on one or two acts.
yeah,
You know, it's not special if everybody does it, but if FTR can establish that they can beat you in a bunch of ways, that really puts over how dangerous they are, and I appreciate that.
yeah. But FTR gets that win with the Power and Glory, and then afterwards they try to continue their attack on Priest, but Billington makes the save. Stokely kind of calls him off, and then they go and we go.
And they leave them alone.
Yeah, they leave him alone, but then we pretty
Yeah,
much did he go directly to Stokely addressing Copeland and Cage, and saying that it's their fault that this frustration was taken out on Priest and Billington, even though they didn't really do anything out of pocket to him. I mean, everything that happened in between the bills.
yeah.
So but that in 2 weeks at Toronto they're going to end CNC, which pretty much guarantees to me in my head canon that they're not in fact
Oh
going to
God, no.
end CNC.
No, 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 no. Christian Cage and Adam Copeland are absolutely winning that match in Toronto. Are you kidding
Yeah, are
me?
you kidding? Right?
No
Like this isn't
way
Vince
are
McMahon.
they,
This is Tony Khan. They're
no
winning in
way are they
Toronto.
losing that match.
Yeah, no way.
Like, I mean, you put ladders in between them and you make that your main event and the go home angle. Like,
Yeah,
that's what you do. I don't know
yeah,
why
and,
they
and
haven't.
and you hope Copeland doesn't break his leg again jumping off high
You
things.
know,
But you hope that pretty much every time he gets on TV. After that, we had my second huge pop of the night for me, and probably you as well, because the
Oh yeah.
outrunners are out in the forest and they hear bird sounds and they're like, "What's that?" And they turn around and it's one of the
Surrounded by
boys.
boys.
They're surrounded by the boys, all both of them. And then they're like, "What is this? What's going on here?" And they turn around and it's Dalton Castle. Praise be to
Ah,
Jesus. Oh my God. I am so happy Dalton Castle is back.
me too. And it looks like he's
Uh
gonna be on AEW television
yeah.
where he belongs.
In a trio with
Ah,
two guys who are easily as ridiculous as he is, and it's going to be the most fun thing.
I
It
can't
is
wait to
going to be
see.
so fun.
I
Like,
can't wait to see the boys dressed up like the boys, but like with like headbands and head warmers or leg
I
warmers,
need like, yeah, like
80s
leg
stuff.
warmers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like 80s stuff,
I need the
duffel
boy. I
bags,
need a you son
Zubas,
of a bitch elbow drop from the
Zubas,
boys. Yes,
boys and
Zubas. The
Zubas.
boys and Zubas. The Zuba patterned boys masks and
Yeah,
Zubas, dude.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I
And
need
and I
that.
need them to do at least one you son of a bitch elbow drop. The boys do that.
Yeah, yeah, it's true.
But yeah, other than that, maybe the outrunners like Dalton's like feed them, and the outrunners like what the like all like timid, like holding
Yeah.
their hand.
I implied that it has that the feed has HTH in it. Like you can do a lights out thing and like it'll be like friggin' Lil Abner with a Yokenberry tongue. It'll be like the lights go off and they're skinny and the lights come back on and they're replaced by obviously a different person, but he's just enormous and
Just huge
huge.
jacked
Like just
guys because
like
they got fed
huge
by the
jack guy.
outrunners.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that
It's
would
like,
be
man, Dalton
hilarious.
looks at him like, what was in that feed?
If
Oh,
this if this
we don't
happens,
talk
we
about that,
know
brother.
they're listening to us, man.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
like this is too specific.
Also they know that we have very similar senses of humor, which is
We
why you
do,
should hire us.
yeah. But this all, I mean, it might. I mean, it's logical that something like that would happen. So,
It
anyway,
is.
but this is gonna be so fun. I'm
Oh
ready
yeah.
for more. I'm gonna say this. I love the Hangman character. Um, but I feel like up until like for a week or two there, the Tony Storm thing was kind of on a lull, and they weren't featuring her as much. Like she's been in multi-man matches and stuff like that. Um, and Hangman, I love him as a character, but there's a lot of serious in there, and like
Yeah.
Swerve and Osprey for the last few months have all been very serious. Like Swerve hasn't been cracking too many jokes. Like we went from, like I'm gonna give the missus a good seeing to because I jumped off the top of a cage to I'm gonna kill John Moxley. Like everybody's been real serious. Darby is still very, like on the serious side. There used to be a lot of like physical comedy with him that's not happening now that they've kind of cut out because he's, like trying to kill the Death Riders. Um, there's just a lot of like I'm kind of, like serious out. I need something super ridiculous
Something
and
lighthearted. Yeah.
lighthearted and fun, like some Orange Cassidy at the beginning level shit. Like before his shtick was just over as hell, and it was just goofy stuff that he did.
Yeah.
Like when they tried to pull that ladder out from under the ring and he was laying on it, like having a nap.
Yeah. Well, like
Like
what we were talking about last week. We devoted an entire segment to stuff, that kind
yeah,
of stuff last
yeah,
week.
like I need more of that. I feel like AEW's gone. I mean, and I understand it. The main storyline of the company was this group of assholes are trying to take things over, and they're doing real damage to the company and the people in it, and that's super serious. But now I need a little bit of fucking silly with my serious, and I need a little bit more of it than I need I need them to
If
tilt the
Harley's
balance a
back,
little
that's
harder.
good. That's
Yeah,
a good
like thing.
start.
That's the
But
thing. Like even Eddie's a little bit silly, because we know
yeah,
we're gonna even though he might be fighting Moxley and it's like a blood feud, they might be having like a no rope barbed wire exploding ring death match for the second time
he's
in the
still the
company's
guy who
history.
said redeem these nuts.
Yeah,
So
he's still redeemed these nuts. We're still gonna have at least two of the promos on the road to that match in catering, and he's gonna be eating
yeah,
pie.
yeah,
Like shit like
he's a
that. Like
hero. he's a
Yeah,
hero.
he's a hero for real. Like Eddie Kingston makes me think that at my age I could go back and start wrestling again, but with my neck I can't, so I'm not gonna play. I mean, I'm not gonna play with that. But yeah, like he like we're gonna see stuff like that, and it's goofy, but like everybody that's here right now or has recently departed to go handle injuries and shit like that have just they've been so serious for so long. Like I I hate to find myself saying this, or like 6 months ago, me would be side eyeing me right now. But I'm like, even I need a little like, I even need like the Bucks to get back on their goofy shit. Like
Yeah,
I just I need more goofy in my wrestling. And maybe it's because
yeah. Even
we
this week on Dynamite, the extent it was funny, but the extent to which they were pulling shenanigans was their nameplate said these guys again. Like, and that
Mhm.
was just kind of it, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, and I just I need more. I mean, we've lived as fans. For me, like and you two, we were almost
Yeah,
we're pretty much the same age. Like
yeah.
I lived
The
through
same
I lived
demographic.
through an era where wrestling was real before kayfabe was broken, and an era where shortly thereafter, we had like the era. There's like a short time in the middle, and then the Attitude Era started, and everything was super serious and reality based. Then, even though it was ridiculous,
It was ludicrous,
and then we
but
had
like, yeah,
like Ruthless Aggression era, which is still at the everybody's super serious and hardcore and all that. And they're just I've lived through enough of this, like I've lived through enough of that shit. Like, give me a little bit more goofy with my wrestling. And when
yeah,
Dalton Castle's present, I know I'm going to get at least a little bit of goofy. I'm going to get great wrestling, but I'm going to get a little
yeah.
bit of goofy with it
Dude can
too.
go.
And I'm cool with the goofy. And he's teaming with the Outrunners. It's going to be goofy as hell. It's going to work. They can all really go, and it's going to be fucking awesome, but it's going to be goofy as hell.
Yeah,
And I'm okay with that. I want that. So, major pop number two for me, for sure.
yeah. I'm ready. I'm ready for them to break some hearts. You sons of bitches.
Dalton Castle, son of a bitch. So after that, we got they like doing like two promos in a row. They like
Yeah,
doing. Then we got John Moxley making his declaration to Darby Allin.
I
Um,
thought this was interesting because he kind of makes a good point here. Like Moxley's here saying, like he's kind of blasé about your belts. Like he's so he explains why he's so kind of unbothered about not currently chasing the world title because it's like, yeah, I just know I'm gonna get it back eventually. Like he's just that self-assured. That's like I'm this is who I am, I lose, okay, fine. It goes back to the earlier promo he had a few weeks ago. Do it again tomorrow, right? That's the ethos, is do it again tomorrow. And so he turns and the line that stuck out to me was like, what do these people think everybody wants to say that they're going to take everything from me. They're going to burn everything I have. What do I have that these people want? And it's like, that's a really good question, actually. And the only thing I can think of is that Renee should stay home.
yeah, I mean,
Like,
I know what
Renee,
Darby wants from him,
yeah, he
his
wants his
life,
pound of, yeah, he wants his pound of flesh, that's for sure.
hmm and possibly
I,
his life, and
yeah,
that's enough. Like he doesn't have to be
yeah,
about a belt. It can be about a
yeah,
problem. It can be
yeah,
about beef, and that's cool. I'm fine with that. This is proof right here. Like it can be about a problem between two people, and not it doesn't have to have a belt.
yeah. Renee should stay home, though.
Yeah,
Like,
maybe,
Renee,
they're having a coffin match, man. That coffin's liable to be filled with tags.
yeah, see,
Like
like, normally I would say,
there's liable to be a
this
sting in
is
the coffin, also.
Darby's, this is Darby's match. And
Yeah,
I would say that he's a surefire winner, but he also lost. The only one he's lost to is against Jack Perry. And
yeah,
that's like no disrespect to Jack Perry, but he was on a certain place on the card. And that
Yeah.
was a win that really helped elevate him
Yeah.
to get that one in Darby's match, where Darby probably really should be undefeated in coffin matches. You look forward to him beating somebody and putting him in a coffin. Now, because he lost to, of all people, Jack Perry in one of these things, I now it's just like, oh man, Moxley could conceivably win this.
I don't
And
know. There's liable to be all
I
number of
don't
things or
like that
people in that coffin.
idea. Yeah, like it would be great if Sting showed up. Or what if that's how Orange Cassidy makes his return?
Yeah,
That would be amazing.
it would be.
That would be awesome because he's pretty close. If he's not there already to being healed up, they're just waiting on creative for him.
Yeah. But yeah, I
And
mean,
that's not an alliance that hasn't been there before. It's well established that those two are cool with each other.
yeah.
Well established in the AEW canon that those two are very cool with each other. But like, uh, I don't know. Like, I feel like Darby needs to win this coffin match. He needs it. It's the only thing that makes sense. But I feel like just because and maybe that's the reason that they're doing it, I don't know. But like maybe they want us to have that little bit of doubt instead of the excitement that is a sure thing. But like there's this little nagging bit of voice in the back of my head is like, do it. I don't know. Like I
Yeah.
could see a future where Moxley wins that match. I don't like that possibility.
Yeah, I'm not really into that possibility either. I mean, Darby needs to win this
This should be Moxley's putting people over tour, at
match.
least on pay-per-view. He can win all the TV matches he likes. I don't care. But like on pay-per-view, he should be the one putting people over now until the Death Riders for sure are broken up and Moxley's written off TV for a few months.
Yeah. Um, After that, we've got our all-star 8-woman tag match. Everybody banned from ringside with Tony Storm, Mina, Statlander, and Harley versus Megan Bayne and Dim Spooky Bitches.
Damn spooky bitches. Yeah, again, 8-person match. It was, predictably chaotic, predictably great. Everybody, you had that cool spot with Mina and Tekla where Mina does her like little slide on her knees, escape shimmy thing while Tekla is doing the spider walk behind her. I
Yeah.
thought that was a really cool image there. Um, Tekla got to mix it up with Tony, which was very important because they hadn't done it in an official match yet at that
Yeah.
point. And to set up what they set up at the end of this match, that we're going to need to kind of establish some animosity there.
Yeah.
Um, we had some big girl on big girl meat madness going on with Stat and Megan Bayne, who
Yeah.
always bring it.
I need more of
Um,
that. I need
yeah,
more of them too, beating the shit out of each other. Like, I just
yeah.
need more of that.
I really want to see another match between those two. The first one was good. I want to see it again. Run that back.
Yeah.
Um, this time with Stat going over them.
Yep.
Yeah, like this is a little bit of everything, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
A little
Um,
bit of everything.
Really good match.
Uh,
Let's see who.
Statlander
Oh
pins
yeah, I caught Hart in it. Yeah,
with
she
the
got her in a
seat
seat belt.
belts which is significant because just like last week with Mox and Danny Garcia, this week Wheeler Yuta materialized out of the ether to jump up on the apron and give Statlander some pre-match advice in her ear. Only
Yeah,
this time we see what it was, or at least we can make an inference as
yeah,
to what it was. She used the seatbelt, which we haven't seen from her at all, but we've seen from Wheeler Yuta quite a lot.
yeah,
So that's
mm,
moving forward there.
yeah,
That's cool. I like that.
yeah. So after that, the Triangle of Madness. I'm sorry, Dim Spooky Bitches
Damn spooky
decided they were
bitches.
gonna come and attack pretty much everybody. They ended up face planting and then like destroying like Mina and Tony
Yep.
and
Uh,
Harley.
Harley, yeah.
And then while they're I think they're going after uh they were going after Statlander, and Hayter showed up,
Yep.
which was cool. Always good to see Jamie Hayter. Really glad she's back in action. Really glad she's back from injury. Like, I think
Yeah,
there was some
she's
talk there for us.
necessary
There
for
was some
this
talk there
division.
for a second that she might not have, there was a chance that she wasn't coming back at all.
Yeah, it was really
So
cool.
I'm glad that she's back.
Yeah,
Um, but she comes out and makes the save, but her and Tony Storm obviously, have their own history.
yeah. It's
And
not great history either.
yeah, it's not really great. And so, Statlander tries
Tony,
to break them up and, tell
Tony
him
was
like,
like
oh,
a
she's just trying to
rabid
help.
dog.
She
Like,
was. She was like, asked everybody, do you want to get nuts? And she asked Statlander and Jamie Hayter and Tekla if they all want to get nuts. And apparently that four-way is now the AEW Women's World Title match at All Out.
yep, Tony Storm defends against Chris Statlander, Tekla, and Jamie Hayter at the same
The
time.
odds of her walking out are not great, but also still great.
Yeah, yeah, like there's always it's Tony Storm.
Yeah.
There's always that. You can make a case for each of her challengers though, because Statlander, especially with Yuta, whispering in her ear and look, with the Death Riders, they have your back, Stat, that whole thing. They have Marina who can get in there and get involved without having to take a bump like Yuta would have to, by virtue of him being a man, getting
Yeah.
involved in a women's match, he would have to take a bump
Yeah.
more than anything. Um,
James Udis
Tekla,
will.
Tekla in singles competition is undefeated, and has the interactions between those two were electric in this match too. They weren't like that much. It was like the beginning of the match and then towards the end of the match they touched again. But like it was like there was palpable like, yeah, I want to see this match. And
Yeah.
then there's Jamie Hayter, who's just a nice comeback story, kind of twice over if you think about it.
Yeah. And I would say that Jamie Hayter probably of all three of them has the best chance of walking out as the AEW World Champion. Um, I
I would
wouldn't
say
be mad if she did. In fact, I would be very happy if she did. And I can see that actually happening.
I could see it happening. She would probably pin Tekla, I would
Yeah.
imagine,
But I mean,
to
she's
do it.
about, a couple years overdue for a finish of a legitimate title reign.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, somebody who lost their title in the fashion that she had to deserves to run it back.
yeah,
If that happens now, I wouldn't be upset about that. We could set up her versus Tony Storm for a bit. You
yeah.
know,
Sure, why not?
I'm totally
Have
cool
them
with
go
that.
back and forth, do a couple of screwy finishes before you put the belt back on Tony. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
See what you do. See what you come up with.
After that, we had a really brief package for Ace Austin. Talking about how he's the ace and all that, and he's got a huge history from Bullet
I was
Club, and
glad to see this because they brought him in and then they like did nothing with him for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I was
yeah,
like, it's like you made a big deal about signing the guy and then you're not doing anything with him.
right.
So I was glad to see this,
But
especially
right,
since it went right into this. What you're going to talk
yeah,
about?
right after we had Lexi and Air backstage with the Bang Bang Gang, who were trying to figure out what their next step is. And they kind of put the cardboard cutouts away, so we're not going to see those anymore. R.I.P. Cardblade and uh what was it?
I
Uh,
don't remember now.
I can't. Oh, there
They
was
only
one.
had him there for a few weeks and they only
Yeah.
had him named for
Oh yeah,
a little bit
card.
of.
Well, it says Card Colton here in my shit, but I know there was a funny name for it.
Yeah, it was funny name.
Uh,
I don't remember it either.
but anyway,
It didn't last long, so
we're talking about what they said they were dealt a bad hand, but they're gonna have to play the hand that they have,
yeah,
and
they kept
we
making
just
Honey
talked
Crush
about
references.
we just talked about this kid who calls himself the Ace was in the Bullet Club. In that package, there were shots of this guy standing next to Juice Robinson and Jay White.
Yep.
Um, I think where we're going with that's pretty obvious, and if it's not, they threw me for a loop with this back to back little thing right here.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely the right call. 100%. Give him something to do. It looks like they're trying to rebuild a trios division. It seems like they can only build a trios division or a tag division at
Yeah.
independently. They can't do them both concurrently for some reason.
Yeah, and I don't know why. They should be
Uh,
able to.
I mean, they have a deep enough roster for it, that's for
Yeah.
sure. But yeah, like I don't know, I don't know. Like I think that this is a great match. Put them as a trio. A weird stylistically. Like Austin Gunn is very much his dad. Like with he doesn't do anything like super modern, but what he does is very over the top and charismatic, and he sells and bumps like a maniac. Then you've got Juice Robinson, who's very unorthodox, but trying to find a serious side to his character. And then you've got Ace Austin, who, from the one match that I've seen from him, is very much like you're in the mold of your modern indie wrestler guy.
Yeah.
So stylistically, they're very diverse. Um, I think it make for some interesting matches, and I'm very interested in seeing where that goes.
Yeah. After that, we had a pre-tape from Mercedes. Looks like she might be back home. Um, basically saying that she's unhappy about being attacked by Riho and then challenging Rio and Alex Windsor to a tag match with Emi Sakura as her
Emi
partner.
Sakura is back.
I love watching
Yay!
Emi Sakura wrestle,
She's
mostly
so
because she's
good.
legitimately mean, and I love that. I don't like
She's so good.
she's so mean, and I just really like her mean streak, man. Like I love watching her beat the crap out of people. Like it's
She's mean in that special way that Japanese Joshi are mean.
yeah,
Like, they will
yeah,
beat the hell out of you
yeah.
and
She's
not apologize for it at
not at
all.
all, not at all. Um,
No, I love her work. I really liken her to like AEW's Natalia because
yeah,
everything she does looks really good. She's an excellent teacher. She's a tremendous asset backstage for the maybe some of the more inexperienced girls back there, but all she does is put everybody else over.
yeah,
Like she's their Natalia, basically.
yeah. Basically, it's a good comparison, I think. Um,
Recording in progress.
okay, so after that we had Kyle Fletcher challenging Hangman for the title it all out.
Yeah. I mean, this is the second time in a row that All Out will feature world champion versus TNT champion.
Hmm.
Uh, Maybe they just make that a yearly thing. I wouldn't necessarily mind that. You know,
Maybe not.
I mean, just for the sake of creating a tradition. At least there's story behind this one too. Like, I mean, I'll say this one. Yeah, Kyle Fletcher is in a much better standing to take a world title off of somebody than Jack Perry was last year.
That's fair.
Like
That is
nobody believed Jack Perry had a chance against Brian Danielson last year. Even if
no.
Brian Danielson wasn't retiring and everybody knew it, it was Jack Perry and Brian Danielson.
Yeah.
This is Kyle Fletcher we're talking about, who still has fuel in the rocket that's strapped to his back. So I, I don't anticipate him to win still, but like he looks in a lot better position to challenge some people's opinions and maybe question
Yeah.
them. What I liked about this, I mean, he looked like a star. He talked like a star. No news there. We keep talking about it week after week. What I liked about this was that Josh Alexander was out there too, and they gave him a little bit of time on the mic, and he did
Yeah.
well. He did fine. And Don Callis, it's very clear that he's trying very hard to hype up each one of his guys in like a different way.
Yeah.
And to me, like I can't hate on that work ethic. Like
No.
Don Callis is currently the best in the business at what he does, I think, probably. Like, I mean, I don't know what's going on in WWE manager wise, but like I can't imagine anybody doing a better job in their role than Don Callis is doing. But like he's got like 9 different guys to put over, and he's managing to put each one of them over in a different way every single night he's out there.
Yeah,
Like it's incredible the work that he is doing to put these other incredible workers over.
yeah,
It looks like they're setting, and they definitely planted the seeds here for Alexander to be the guy that Hangman faces next from the Don Callis family, which they would eventually proceed to uh, confirm later in the show. So they're calling it a grudge match. It's going to be on Dynamite next week. It's going to be Hanger versus Josh Alexander, who said, "Yeah, I want, I want this match with you for my own sake too, because we had a match, my very first match in AEW, and I'm a different guy than even I was back then. I know that I can beat you." And then Fletcher says if there's anything left of Matt Alexander's done with him, they'll pick bones.
yeah. Um, eventually, okay, so Kyle Fletcher, you're gonna eventually say my full name. Okay, look,
Yeah.
Kyle, we don't know your middle name, dog.
Oh, it's the Protostar, clearly.
Apparently. But somebody on Blue Sky did pause it. Like somebody on Blue Sky looked up his like wrestling, was like looking into his wrestling history and stuff like that, and realized that his
Yeah.
first name was his name. So I guess his real name is Graham, and
Graham.
so
Oh God, that's so Australian.
his first wrestling persona was Instagram.
Oh, that's
And
good.
so somebody was
Oh,
like,
that's
if we're gonna say your
good.
full name, do we have to say Instagram Kyle the Protostar Fletcher?
Oh,
And I'm like,
he's
oh
known for
man.
being pretty cheeky on social media too.
Somebody
He'd
from
probably love
AEW
that.
needs to pull out an Instagram. If I don't see an Instagram sign in the next like couple of weeks, I'm gonna lose my shit. And then I'm gonna have to go to an AEW show and bring my own. Uh
So good.
so yeah, after that, now I watched Collision twice because I had a good time watching. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't see this the first time, and I'm not sure you did either. If it's out, is what happened Nick before in between that and Kyle O'Reilly? Did you see the thing? Is it in your notes?
It's not my notes.
Okay, so you didn't see the clone.
Oh yeah, the thing. Yeah.
Okay.
It blended in with all the
The
commercials,
first yeah, the
but
first time
yeah,
it blended in with the commercials, and I was just like, or I
yeah.
wasn't paying attention or something, and I completely missed what like the
And
10
it said
seconds.
soon, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it was only 10 seconds, man. And it did
Yeah.
kind of blend in with the end of the commercials. And so like I didn't really catch it and the first time. And then the second time I was like, oh, I didn't even realize this had
Yeah.
happened, you know.
Yeah,
But it wasn't
I
really
had trouble
anything.
with my feed, so I had to go back and watch it from a certain point, and
Hmm.
then it backed up a few minutes, and that's when I saw it again. I'm like, oh, okay, well,
Okay.
okay,
Yeah, so I almost didn't catch this, but yeah, they showed him, and then they go into um Lexi Nair backstage with the conglomeration and Roddy because he's not a member of the conglomeration and apparently doesn't want to be. And
it makes me
um
sad.
this is another of the many like little like are will they won't they join this faction things that are going on right now that I think they need to just shit or get off the pot on them. Like this Roddy being pissed off at Kyle and being pissed off at the conglomeration for no fucking reason and just being a real twat has been going on long enough, I think.
Well, I don't know. Did we talk about this last week where I had seen somebody post something on Blue Sky about how Adam Cole is kind of the glue with those three, and that
Mm-hmm.
whatever he turns, they turn.
Yeah.
But Kyle's natural state is goofy baby face, and
Yeah.
Roddy's natural state is asshole. I'm gonna kick the crap out of you heel.
Yeah.
And like they're diverging. This this is where they're diverging into their natural roles here, and I think they're gonna find that like without Adam Cole around, it's like, oh, he's the one who actually makes us friends.
Yeah.
We're not actually friends, are we? Like,
Yeah. But we're obviously losing Ishii here pretty soon, so they made
yep.
mention of that. So we won't be seeing Ishii for a bit. I mean, I'm probably it won't be before. I mean, we'll see him again before the end of the year, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
I love his summer
But yeah,
excursions.
summer excursion's over
I
now.
I love when he comes to grace us with his presence. It's so good. Tomohiro
Yeah.
Ishii. Like he looks like a nothing. He
Yeah.
looks like some aging, you know, crippled bald dude that you'd see in a bar. But he is so the toughest guy you're ever gonna meet.
Yeah.
Like, and every time he gets in that ring and no sells, I pop so huge for it. Like there is a way to get over by not selling and it to not damage anybody that you're in the ring with. And he is a master of that. Absolute master of that. Because at the end of the day, he's usually still taking the loss.
Yeah.
So like he can no sell all he wants because the guy's gonna these faces gonna go over anyway. So they're still gonna get their shine. He still gets to look tough. It's a winning formula. And he's great. Like I love Ishii. I'm so glad that he graces us with our presence, graces us with his presence every summer now. It's great.
Yeah. I'm really happy. I love watching Ishii.
Sad
He's
to see
really
him
fun.
go.
Um, After that, on the final stop of our 5 stop promo stops before our main event, Jerry Lynn is talking to, Anthony Bowens is backstage with Lexington, and he's talking about, how he's happy and Max Caster and Billy Gunn aren't there, but he's not going to compete tonight because he was just at the movie premiere for the latest Conjuring movie, representing AEW. But then Jerry Lynn kind of pops up and is like, hey, man, here's all your accolades, but you've gone from the top of the top to the bottom of the top. So
I
what's
don't even know
missing?
what that means.
I don't either. Hey, man, you're in the mid card. Maybe
Yeah.
you should look in the mirror and ask what's at the bottom of the top. I mean, hey,
I
bro,
mean there
does
is a
that mean he's
point.
the
Like
next? Is he the number one contender to Kyle Fletcher? Is that what he means? I mean, like,
oh,
what does the bottom of the top
my
mean?
my I will say he does have a point in that he's highlighting what the more of the media. He's doing more media than he's doing wrestling.
Yeah, that is happening. Yes.
So, I mean, you could say that a lot about a lot of the underused talent in AEW.
Yeah.
Actually, Nyla Rose, chief among them. Give me Nyla Rose. Why isn't Nyla Rose in the mix for the world title? I don't think we've seen her and Tony Storm yet, have we?
No, I don't think we have.
I think we
And
should. I think we
I,
should.
it's been what, like, I lost count. It's been a long time since Nyla Rose has been on TV. So
Way too long.
too long. It's too long if I can't remember the last time it happened. So
It goes back to what you were saying. We need a little goofy in here.
yeah,
Need a little silly in
need
here.
some surprise, bitch. Um, After that, we have our main event of Mark Briscoe versus Konosuke Takeshita. Now Takeshita comes out with his normal Don Callis and Don Callis family people, but then sends the wrestlers away because
Yeah,
he
I
obviously
think it was
wants.
just Alexander, wasn't it?
Um,
But Don was already
yeah,
on
yeah, it was
comms.
just yeah. So Don Callis is on commentary. He brings out Josh Alexander and he sends him away because he obviously wants to have a one-on-one match with Mark Briscoe,
And
which I
Callis does a great job of explaining. It's like, yeah, we're a family. We give each other the option to have each other's backs there at ringside, but if they want to do it themselves, we respect their decision. That's what a family is about. Like
yeah,
completely unbothered.
yeah,
I loved that. I loved that he didn't sell that he was worried about it or anything. Like
yeah.
it was just a choice that was made.
And then now then Briscoe gets to the ring, the bell rings, and we proceed to have probably one of the best 25-minute matches on Collision I've ever seen in my life.
This
Like
was a
it is,
proper main event.
man, this was proper. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
so good. They just beat the living hell out of each other for like
Yeah.
25 straight minutes. Like I didn't know who was going to win at certain points. I was just like, man, maybe Briscoe will win this. Like maybe he is going to pull this off. Like maybe they've talked to New Japan and be like, look, we really need to give Mark this win, and it's got to happen. So it's happening. But
Yeah.
whatever. There was times when I thought that was going to happen. Now, like I predicted, Mark Briscoe did not get the win, but he does not look bad in the win and in taking that L at all. He could easily still be named the number one contender to Kyle Fletcher, and I wouldn't bat an eye because he fought Konosuke Takeshita to a draw pretty much until the end. at which point he lost, but we'll talk about why here in a second. But I mean, arguably, Konosuke could probably, house fucking Kyle Fletcher. So
Yeah. I
we're
mean,
looking
you
at like a legitimate contender to almost any title in the company with that match against Konosuke Takeshita.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
but but then but then they had to simultaneously piss me off and make me happy all within the space of about 5 minutes.
Got
So
pro wrestling.
so this so Takeshita sent Alexander back to the back and wanted a one-on-one match, but as it turns out, when Takeshita is about to take an L, who appears to interfere, but Mark Briscoe's favorite archenemy, MJF, who
A
had just gotten
day
married.
after his
Yeah, just
wedding.
got married the night before. I wouldn't have been at work. I would have
Yeah,
been
me
somewhere
neither.
with sandy beaches and fruity drinks.
And
Uh,
for the record, they did play us too, because if Alicia too had been doing her job backstage this whole time, we would have called MJF from a mile away, because it would have been clear that they weren't on a honeymoon together. But
yeah,
they kept Lexi Nair and Lexi Nair only in the interview role the entire night. They
yeah,
didn't give Alicia anything to do. So it was like, oh, okay, well, Alicia's not here because she's on her honeymoon, clearly, which means she's with MJF, clearly, which means you wouldn't have seen this coming.
yeah.
I thought that was a great little touch.
So they, so he interferes. Briscoe loses the match. Takeshita doesn't look happy.
Oh, no, no, no,
Here's where we
no, he
might see
doesn't.
the break between Takeshita, NJPW World Champion, and the Don Callis family, because Takeshita does not look happy that they are not letting him.
Oh, he looks so pissed at MJF.
Yeah, he was
They get
fucking
into it
mad.
a little
Yeah,
bit after the
I
match.
mean, but MJF is cuddling up with Don Callis now. They kind of have always had like a scumbaggy relationship, and
Yeah.
then Okada as well. Like Takeshita is
I
kind
mean, the
of,
wheels the wheels have
yeah,
been
wheels are
starting to
turning there.
spin to I mean,
Um,
Tony
yeah,
Khan is not stupid,
yeah,
and he knows that eventually if a dominant, talented heel goes on a run and gets over on their work rate, eventually you're gonna have to turn a babyface.
yeah,
It's because it's inevitable, because people will respect the work so much they don't want to boo anymore. They don't want to take part in the fiction anymore. They just want to lavish praise onto the guy that's entertaining them.
right.
That's what's, I mean, it's kind of already been happening with Takeshita a little bit. You haven't heard like outright pops for the guy, but like anytime he is in there, he gets massive reactions for his spots and for his near falls and for everything. The guy is undeniable. He will be there. He's going to be one of their guys going forward. And I think the seed was planted as soon as they put Okada and him in the Continental Classic, or what, it was the Continental Classic last year, I think,
Yeah, I think
where they
so.
had kind of they were in opposite brackets, but they had kind of a stare down,
Hmm.
right? And they kind of teased it there. And then when Okada first joins, there was kind of a tepid, acknowledgement, but not really uh, I wouldn't say acceptance of him in the family, but he's like, okay, well, he's like the unified champion. He's the top champion in our stable. Whereas I used to be kind of the crown jewel of this place, even with, you could say that he shared that with Fletcher, but he loves Kyle Fletcher like a brother, so or like a boyfriend, really. So, he was always going to forgive Kyle, but doesn't. He sees Okada as a rival more than anything. You can see it every time they look at each other, even when they're on, even when they're in uh, segments together where they're not supposed to be clearly at odds with one another, explicitly at odds with one another. There's always like a side eye. There's always a tension there. This babyface turn, I think it's going to happen before the end of the year. I think it's probably going to come down to. I think it comes down to the Continental Classic. I think that Takeshita wins. and he faces Okada for the belt. Don Callis makes a choice and he chooses Okada.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, so MJF tries to beat on Briscoe, but Takeshita shoves him off. But then Takeshita and Callis leave, and MJF goes back to pick the bones again, and Briscoe is ready for him that time. And so they get into a big brawl. They get broke apart. The crowd's chanting, let them fight. But they get MJF, away. And MJF then like challenges Briscoe. And he's like, anytime, any place, any match, you name the stipulation, which is a fucking dumb
So
idea.
stupid.
So
So
fucking stupid.
stupid.
So dumb. Like
I
MJF
love
gets
that
heated and he does dumb shit.
I love that consistency with this character though.
Now, here's the thing, and here's what I'm giddy about for Wednesday. Okay, because I think either Wednesday or Saturday on Collision, like that last one, that last Collision before we get into All Out Week, we're going to get the answer from Briscoe soon. And the question is, we already have a coffin match. How sick are we actually going to get it all out?
And we might get a blood and guts match. We don't
Yeah,
know.
we don't know yet, but we might. But if we get a blood and guts match and a coffin match, like how sick are we really going to get? Because what Mark Briscoe has in store for MJF needs to be disgusting, like some
I think
sick oh shit.
I think what you go for here, dog collar. I think you go dog collar match because they're not going to end the show with it, so it's not going to be unsanctioned. It's not going
No,
to be lights out. Plus, they already did that
yeah,
last pay per view,
last pay per view.
so
Yeah,
like they're not going to do the lights out thing again for a while. But I think I think that it's been a while since they've done a good dog collar match. I think the reputation that it has as being one tied specifically to blood feuds,
mm-hmm.
uh, and he's a farmer, so there's kind of the redneck thing going on there. You can call it a
Yeah,
chicken collar match if you want. I don't give a shit. But like I think that him being kind of rednecky actually lends to the gimmick as well.
yeah,
Um, I think and MJF has been in a dog collar match and got his ass kicked by CM Punk too.
yeah.
So like it
That was a
would be
great
something.
match too.
It was
Yeah,
fantastic. It was stellar. Um, I think that putting him, Mark Briscoe, putting that stipulation on it would absolutely scare the bejesus out of him, which is what you want. That's
yeah.
that's what the story is leading to. I would think that the extra layer of making him piss his pants would be if he said that the contract was on the line during it too.
He did say any match, anything.
Any
Yeah,
stipulation you want.
any stipulation you want. Yeah,
And he's constantly writing checks his ass can't cash.
yeah.
So like,
It'd be a great way to
if you
get Mark
want,
Briscoe right back in the world title picture, or he
yes,
signs that
absolutely.
contract for Kyle's title instead. Is he go,
That's
like,
nah, I hate that.
mm,
I hate that. Like it says world title. Why would you sign for a lesser belt?
because Hangman's his friend and he hates Kyle Fletcher.
So he waits around. The thing's got a year on it.
Does it still
Maybe
have a year
Hangman
on it for
drops it.
him, or does it only have a year on it from when it was won? See, that's
Well, I mean, if he wins it in 2 weeks, that's still mostly a year. It's
fair.
most of a year. So he can wait until the very end of that term. And if Hanger is still the world champion, okay, well, this is my last shot a week out. Let's do it. Like,
Here we go.
yeah. I mean,
But
he would
yeah,
have to he would have to insert himself into that match because the winner, the Owen, would get that match. But
yeah,
um, still,
yeah,
but yeah, I think it would be if you I say that Mark Briscoe, if it's a dog collar match, he wins. I feel like if the no matter what the stipulation, if the contract is on the line, Briscoe loses. The
yeah,
intrigue is there, but I think Briscoe loses. I think it's that thing is best served on a heel and not on a baby face.
yeah. I think you're probably right. But yeah,
But
that
yeah,
was Collision. Collision was
that was
fucking
a
great.
fantastic 2 hours of wrestling. That again just flew by. Couldn't believe 2 hours was over by the time I gotten there.
Right? Yeah,
Like,
I was like, that was too. I want more. There should be like two more matches. Just
yeah, like I mean, it was a rare collision with only 4 matches too.
yeah,
Like it usually they load it up and do between 6 and 8 because there are a couple of short enhancement matches usually thrown in there at the last minute too, but they didn't do
yeah.
that this week. So now
Yeah.
that that's done, oh, look at my wrist. What time is it?
It's time to do like the pros do and call it in the ring.
There we go. All right. So I was thinking earlier this week, I saw, as I alluded to earlier, I saw the chatter online earlier this week regarding Chris Jericho and how his contract is up at the end of the year. And, there's been chatter that he's been liking certain things about how he should go to WWE and blah, 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 blah. And it made me think upon what AEW would do with him if he was thinking of leaving, like if he, I feel like if he retires, then he probably just like stays as a coach, right?
You'd
But if he
think, yeah.
but if he still wanted to wrestle, then he could stay with AEW. He could go to WWE. He could do some part-time stuff with New Japan. I doubt he would do the Indies, not
Doubt it.
full-time anyway.
Yeah.
So I
Mm.
was thinking, if he's on the way out, he's on the way out. What TK would probably do is just keep him off TV. He has
Probably.
a recent history of doing that with people waiting at their contracts. But let's say he doesn't do that. Let's say that he uses these last 4 months or so. Was it September, October, November, December? Yeah, 4 months of the year that he has Jericho to do something with him. What does he do with him? So I posed that question to my partner in not so much crime, and we were each going to be giving you a pitch for what we would do with Chris Jericho if we had to have him in a story leading up to his last day of his contract in AEW, whether or not he signs with WWE or stays with AEW. If the point is that it's unclear what he's going to do until the end of his contract, what do we do with him up until that point?
Hmm. That is an interesting question.
Right?
Um, yeah, I mean,
Because this is a guy who is very divisive, right? Amongst
right.
the base. The AEW fans tend to get tired of people
Yeah.
for different reasons than most other wrestling fans will get tired of people.
Yeah.
Uh, that said, you can't take away how integral he was to the beginning of AEW and the history of AEW.
That's true.
If they ever do a Hall of Fame, he's a surefire
Oh,
Hall of
100% first ballot Hall of Famer.
first ballot. He's the first guy that goes in. He was the first major name. That the only reason that they got cable distribution at all is because of him.
Yeah.
He was the first world champion in that championship reign. He set about establishing as many guys as he could, whether you want to believe it or not. He absolutely did do that.
Yeah.
Um, even even in the last couple of years when he was slowing down, when he was with a really good opponent, he could really deliver in the ring. I still think that match with Bandito for the Ring of Honor World Champion is low key probably one of the better angles that they pulled this year because they totally pulled the wool over our eyes with that finish,
Oh,
that false
yeah.
finish
Yeah, they
with
did.
Bandito and Gravity's mom and sister. Like
Yeah.
they totally got us hook, line, and sinker,
Oh, for sure.
and
For sure.
that scene honestly that you look at that finish, that's a Jericho idea.
Yeah.
That's a Jericho idea. That came from his mind. You can't convince me otherwise. because that's
Right.
exactly his flavor of sports entertainment
It
stuff. Like, and
is.
it got me, and I'm so glad it got me because it's very difficult for quote unquote smart fans like us, because we ain't that smart, but for smart fans like us to be fooled like that, and they got me.
Yeah.
They totally got me. And I am so glad they did because it's so difficult to do anymore.
Yeah, it's hard to yeah, we've been watching so long. It's hard to hard to surprise us
Yeah,
again.
I feel like Jericho Vortex concept aside, that he still has something to offer on the way out.
Yeah.
So if it was up to you, Aaron, how would you do it? How would you book him on the way out for the last 4 months of his contract?
Oh man. You know, in this case, I would put over the people who were caught in the vortex last. So
Okay.
I would have him come back and probably try to reclaim Bill and Brian Keith as his minions, and they resist that. And after he berates them or something for maybe not being good, like I came back after all this time and you still don't have a title or something like that, and
Yeah.
then basically just puts them over for the last few months on the way out. That's pretty much how I would handle it.
Yeah.
Probably Bill being the guy to go to do the one on one and get the win. Um,
Do you have him team with anybody so they could do tag matches?
yeah, they would probably. I'll probably have them do tag matches. Maybe have Sammy Guevara come in as a favor since he's a heel now or something.
Yeah.
Just
Reunite
yeah,
the sex
reunite the sex
gods.
gods one time or two times before he's done or whatever. But yeah, that'd be pretty much it. Like I
Who
mean,
else
it,
would
it
serve? Who else could serve to benefit from that? Who's still in the company that was in the vortex at one point or another? Danny
uh
Garcia.
Danny Garcia, FTR. I think we're in it at one
Yeah.
point. Anna Jay and uh
Ty.
Ty
Yeah,
and
Ty Mello.
Daddy Magic and Angelo Parker.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people that are still technically with the company.
Yeah, like the major ones, like they get like Kingston. Kingston, you could do Kingston, but
Yeah,
he's gonna be caught up with Moxley probably for the rest of the year,
yeah, probably.
and he should be involved in that and not in this, right?
Yeah,
You would have to think, maybe have him have a random match and you have him put a Kingston over definitively. People
yeah,
forget Kingston lost that feud.
he
People
did.
forget that.
Yeah.
I think it's probably good. Honestly, the fact that he lost it is probably indicative that maybe there's more to the Jericho Vortex than people give credit.
Yeah.
Like because people forget that he lost. So did it really do him damage in the long run?
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like your idea of trying to basically make restitution.
Yeah. I think maybe. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, he would just. I would have him putting over everybody basically on his way out. Like, I mean, we're only got a
What
few
would be the
months.
blow off?
Um.
Would it be a normal match, or I imagine it would probably be at World's End then. I think that's the last show before the end of the year. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have him. I'd have him lose his hair in a hair versus hair match with Bill at World's
Oh,
End.
yeah.
Yeah.
He'd be down for it too.
Yeah, I'd have him do that for sure. Because that shit's
Very
got to
cool.
go. Like,
Yeah,
oh man.
it's looking pretty ratty in his old age. Like he shouldn't be wearing his hair that long anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, not at all. Not at all. So yeah, that's where I would have it.
Use him to right the wrongs of the Jericho Vortex.
Yes, that's what I would do.
See, I chose something a little bit more like abstract, I guess. I don't know why this came to me. I was on the toilet and this idea came to me, and I don't know what. I think it was maybe I saw an ad for Terrifier 3 because I think it's on
Mhm.
streaming, and I know Jericho was attached to that. Oh no, you know what it was? It was one of those. Goldblum things. Whereas like,
Mm.
okay, I saw Rhea Ripley standing with the clown, right? And then I
Yeah.
remembered, I know that she loves Terrifier, and then I remember that Jericho was in the first one, I think, and I think the second one too, right? It
Yeah.
was like flashback or something, and that led me down to, oh, what's Jericho doing now? And that's what got me to open up the thing, and I associate him with the clown, and then it was like, oh, he's a master of reinvention and he's associated with Terrifier. Can we do something there? And I was like, that the design of the clown in that thing is very minimalistic. It's just white and black, right?
Yeah.
With, I mean, obviously the teeth are horrifying, but like it's very white and black. And you know what it reminded me of was Pagliacci. So I'm
Okay.
thinking, how do I make Chris Jericho a sad clown? And I figured out a way to do it. You make his entire 4 months left on his contract a kind of a meta conversation about his career in AEW and his relationship with fans as the 5 stages of grief.
Ah,
So you
okay.
have you start out with what? When did he start really getting booed for the Vortex? It was like early 2024 or something, right?
Yeah.
It was I think it was for the right after the Ricky Starks thing fell apart.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's when the terms started coming up, the Jericho Vortex. People started making, you know, quips and connections about it. And shortly thereafter, the Jericho Appreciation Society dissolves, and he just kind of stuck doing his own thing for a couple months. That's when the learning tree hits, right? So
Yeah.
the first of the 5 stages of grief, which can overlap, like this is like pop psychology. Okay. This
Yes.
isn't like diagnosis kind of stuff.
Right.
This is these are trends that were noticed by an author who was a grief counselor about people who were working with terminally ill patients and how they came to accept their ultimate fate and
Yeah.
how they process it. And she saw certain patterns and she just wrote them down. People ascribe way too much to it, but the stages of grief are denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. So for me, you would retcon the beginning of this would be the denial stage, right? And
Right.
that's when you go back to the dissolution the uh of the uh Jericho Appreciation Society.
Mm,
He's in
okay.
denial. He starts hanging out with Don Callis, and nobody likes that. He's like in denial. He's like, no, this is a way that I can, basically remain relevant. It's like, dude, you're crazy. Don't know what you're talking about. That's
Right.
the denial stage. When it doesn't work out with Don Callis, there's your anger. He's just pissed off. He lost all of his friends over this. He didn't get anywhere with it. And bargaining is when you have the uh the learning tree come in. And
Yeah.
there he's basically saying, look, I still have something to give. Please let me prove that I have something to give. And you happen to have Brian Keith and Big Bill who are willing to board that train and be like, okay, yes, please, give us your wisdom and everything. But along the way, he disappoints them and he is, obviously he can see it coming before he's very wise. He can see this coming. He's been in the business for over 30 years. He can see the betrayal from those two coming a mile away. He can see it coming. So he leaves them first, thinking that that will reinforce their need of him. So he takes a sabbatical. The sabbatical is in the middle of the bargaining and depression era. The areas they come back. He comes back after 4 months. He's been gone for 4 months right now.
Yeah.
He left in April, I think. It's been crazy. That's been 4 months, but it's been 4 months, and he sees that His guys don't care that he's gone. Nobody is talking about him. Nobody cares that he's gone. And so now he's slipped into the depression phase. He comes back in the depression phase. He puts on his painkiller makeup, but he like smudges it. So instead of like the crow, it kind of looks more like tears, right? And that's
Right.
when he starts just like he comes back and he's kind of nihilistic, but like, nothing matters. This kind of stuff. He comes in and he's just like, nobody wants me. None of you even cared that I was gone, did you? And then of course, the crowd, because he's still a heel to them, is like, no, we didn't care that you were gone. Boo, get out of here. So he just does whatever he wants. He starts cheating blatantly in front of referees. He keeps, this, that, and the other thing. He keeps on basically wrestling like he doesn't have a care, like it doesn't matter whether he wins or loses. Doesn't matter whether he cheats or doesn't cheat. Doesn't matter whether what kind of wins he picks up. Because at the end of the day, what he really cares about is being seen as relevant and that he has something left to give to this industry that seems to love him less than he loves it. Well, about halfway through this, you're going to have him start just racking up wins by virtue of, it just happens that way. Whether he's cheating as much as he always does and the referee just happens to not see it or whatever, he starts to rack up some wins over big opponents, right? He starts to get some momentum so that by world's end, you've got the sad clown kind of coming out of his depression a little bit because he wound up earning a world title shot against Hangman Adam Page, the guy that he beat to become the inaugural world champion of AEW. And so it's like, I can come full circle. I can still prove myself. I can beat that. I already know I can beat that guy because I beat him 6 years ago. I know I'm better than him. He starts to perk up. He starts to, wrestle. And the match that they have is indicative of the old Chris Jericho, the babyface Chris Jericho that people want. He doesn't cheat. He doesn't try. He tries his best to wrestle the best match possible against a guy who's younger, who's more athletic, who's in the prime of his career, outpace him, but he wants to do it the right way. So that by the end of this match, when Chris Jericho is the one looking at the lights after a 3 count, he gets up and it doesn't matter anymore because the fans are on their feet giving him a standing ovation because they know it's his last match, right? They know they're not stupid fans. They're tuned in. They're on the internet. They understand that this is the last match he's going to have on his contract. The last time they're going to see him, and they're going to be in his corner by the way that he wrestled, the way that he carried himself. So by that point, he's no longer depressed, even though he lost the match. He stands up, he shakes Adam Page's hands, and he accepts that his career is over. Acceptance is the fifth stage, the stage where he gets his power back, the stage where he can move on with his life and closes out his legacy in AEW with dignity. So yeah, I thought that would be like a good way to engage him and get the most out of him and get Hangman his win back because he never got there. He never faced. I don't think he ever faced Y2J one on one ever again after that. So
No.
it'd be nice for him to put Page over on the way out after being him to become the inaugural champion. You know, he could put guys over. He could do a whole. I feel like there's a lot of good to come from that, and it's a thank you for somebody who probably doesn't feel like he's like the fans have been very gracious with him
Oh
over the
no, they
past
haven't
year and
been
a
very
half.
gracious with him at all.
And to
And I
be fair,
mean,
I haven't either.
no, I haven't either. I've been
It's
wanting him to kind
taken
of go away a little bit.
it's taken this absence for me to and this realization that his contract is up in a few months to make me reevaluate what his legacy in AEW would actually be and realize
Yeah.
there's a lot more good than harm
Yeah.
that he's actually brought to AEW.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He helped put them on the map. I mean, if anything, at least that.
For sure. Like I said, he was instrumental. Without him, they wouldn't have gotten a TV deal. That
Yeah.
alone is just so important. So, so, so important.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I would do. I would try and kind of I wouldn't like I mean, I wouldn't be obvious about it and say, oh, this is this is his he's accepting and this, that, the other. I wouldn't, making broad stroke, WWE, I'm gonna feed this to you like you're 3 years old, dummy, kind of
Hmm.
deal. But that's what I
Yeah.
would model the storyline on. Is 5 stages of grief and him dealing with his eventual AEW mortality, if you will.
Yeah. I like yours. I mean, I mean, mine is real basic. Just kind of try to mitigate the damage that
And I
was
do
done
like
from the
yours for the
vortex.
record. I like the
Um.
the idea of them kind of him paying restitution for
Yeah.
the perceived ills that he's given to others
Yeah.
by just being in their orbit,
Yeah.
you
But
know?
yours is. I don't know. I like yours better. That's yeah. Just having him go through the stages of grief in his character while he's, you know, closing out his career. Very
I think it could
like
be some of his
real
best work if
Randy
you
the
let him dive into
Ramish,
it.
you know?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
I honestly, if you let him dive into it, I bet it would be some of the best work of his career, character-wise.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah. If he takes it seriously and doesn't try to be goofy about it or anything stupid
Yeah,
or
like this is not the
yeah.
time to be goofy. Maybe a little bit of goofy in that match with Paige because he's got his mojo back, you know. He's
Yeah.
feeling the love from the crowd for a little bit. He's playing up to them, but other than that, you want him to be a sad boy.
Yeah.
SADBOI.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I definitely could get down with that. The him being depressed and stuff like that. Like that. I'd like to see how it plays out, honestly.
Now watch, it's gonna happen. We'll know somebody is listening to this
Right?
podcast, right? All right.
Ugh.
Well, I
But yeah,
think that pretty much does it.
yeah, I think so. But yeah, with that, that's our week. We've given our ways that Jericho might be, used the last time if we see him again in AEW before he hops over to the other place. If that happens, I guess time will tell on how this is all going to work out. Dynamite and Collision were really good this week.
Hell
Hopefully that trend continues. And other than that, it's a tough world out there. So keep your head up. And
yeah. Love you. Take care of yourselves.